Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Hopefully everything is nice and smooth. You got your flowers, your chocolates, all that good stuff. Hopefully you got it, but if you didn't, it's all right because you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we got a brand new podcast featuring Barack Obama done by Brian Tyler Cohen. I think it's his channel that the podcast is on, and he addressed the whole monkey gate kerfuffle. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, you got a black liberal guy by the name of Toure. You may have seen him on MSNBC, CNN, etc., saying that it's okay for a black ICE agent to be called an N-word because he doesn't like his politics. Funny how that works. This is the same guy talk about white man, white man, white man, white man bad, white man bad, white man bad all day long. But now all of a sudden it's okay to use the N-word under certain circumstances. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, voter identification. Is it racist? Is it sexist? Is it any obic-ish? Or is it very simple? Hey, you don't have identification, you're not an American citizen, you're not going to be able to vote. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Mom Donnie has been mayor for just a handful of days now, and the people of New York are not very happy. The snow is still there, the garbage is still there, and there's a whole lot more other stuff happening that is not being properly addressed. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You see, I got my Valentine's Day red on. Okay, I'm in the spirit. Okay, just like Christmas, I put a little wreath on my door, had a little bit of garland, had like a little baby tree. I'm in the spirit. Okay, I got my red. I don't got no rose or nothing in my mouth, but hey, I'm here with you guys, and I most certainly appreciate you. Yes, indeed. If you went out tonight, if you're going out later, please be safe out there because people on days like this, they get a little crazy because they don't normally go out. They're not used to actually being out, so it's kind of weird. It's like New Year's Eve. You're getting a bunch of amateurs out there on the road. They don't know how to drive. You know, they're drinking all the drinks in the world, and then they get on the car and drive. So please be careful because people are crazy out there. You're a great driver, but that guy who's about 15 Bud Lights deep, he's about 15 Coronas, Modelos, y'all know how you do. Shout out to the Mexicans. He's about 15 Hennessy. Shout out to the black folks and the Vietnamese. He's deep off in the drink. So please be careful out there on the road. And shout out to you guys for rocking with me. I most certainly appreciate you. Y'all know I'm live each and every Saturday, but I'm also live Tuesday on Instagram and another time on YouTube Wednesday. Instagram Tuesday live, YouTube Wednesday live, and then YouTube Saturday live. But I'm here pretty much all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. And I will put out more long form stuff, but I've been really focused on the short form a lot. If you guys have not seen, I just did a podcast with a friend of mine called Earn Your 24. I put it up on the community tab, and I've been putting shorts up from it. That was a pretty good show. And I got another one with a different podcaster coming up. And my man, if you're watching me, hey, let's get on the road. Come on. Because when I go out there, I'm hit a few different spots. So once I get this last podcast in, once I go out there to this particular area, it's a bunch of guys that I know. I'll probably do a show with either one. Well, all of them, pardon me. So it'll probably be about 4 podcasts on that one trip. So that'll be coming up soon as well. But I most certainly appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling. Byron says, ABL, I won't be able to vote because I don't know how to get an ID. Help me. Hey, that voter ID thing is crazy. It's like, come on, man. Anybody can get an ID. I don't even understand why anybody's still trying to defend that. You know, the left, I got to give them a little bit of credit here. I give credit where credit is due. The left are very good at manipulation. They're very good at telling you something that's not true, but making you believe it. They're very good at crafting narratives. Now, I saw Barack Obama. We'll get to that in a minute. Barack Obama did the podcast with Brian Tyler Cohen. And immediately, like straight off the rip, he parroted the whole thing about, oh, they used a 5-year-old boy to lure the illegal immigrant back to the car to arrest him out there in Minneapolis. Complete nonsense. Total nonsense. I have noticed, and I think you guys have as well, but I have noticed that the left are very good at projection. The things that they do, the things that they think, the way that they behave, they say that we do it. They call us the racists. Meanwhile, every time I see one of these people acting bad, whenever I see a liberal behaving badly, it's always a racial slur, and their favorite slur is the N-word. Oh yeah, that's like their coffee in the morning. Hey, when they say N-word 5 times in the mirror, it makes their teeth turn white. That's pretty much how they are with that word. Okay, from my perspective, from my point of view, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not seeing everything that needs to be seen, but that's pretty much what I see from these people. But then they call us the racists. They call us the homophobes, transphobes, or whatever. But if they don't like what you say, if they don't like what you do, all of a sudden you're gay and living a double life and you're on Grindr, you're making the Grindr servers blow up. That's what they do. They use the very things that they try to champion as a virtue and champion for diversity and champion for being a good thing for society. They use that very thing against you when they don't like you. One day they say they love black folks, blackity black, 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 black. The next day is, hey, if you're a white person, call that black person an N-word because they're a nice agent. Make it make sense. Here's my thing. If I say, which I do say, that racism is wrong, then it's always wrong. It doesn't matter who it's against. It could be against somebody on the left or somebody on the right. It doesn't make a difference who it's against. Now, we got to kind of define what racism is. If I make a joke, and we're going to see some jokes in a minute, but if I make a joke and it's kind of lighthearted, it's not meant to be offensive, that's one thing. But if you call somebody the N-word 5,000 times in their face because you're upset that they're being arrested, I mean, what do you call that? Is that a joke? Is that a ha-ha moment? Or is that them just being a bad person, which is why they're being arrested, you see? But on the left, that whole interaction right there, them being arrested by the ICE agent, and they say N-word, N-word, N-word over and over, that's okay. It's totally fine. So at a certain point, we know that these things aren't about race. It never was really about race, not since I've been living. It's really just about your political ideology. Hey, you don't fit into what we want. You don't fit into our ideology politically. You don't fit into what we believe and what we think. Then we're going to ostracize you. We're going to attack you. Racial slurs, whatever, we're going to throw it at you. We're going to call the police on you, tell lies on you, get on TV, tell lies on you. It's what they do. But I think we've all come to expect it. So whenever I see people talk about how bad conservatives are, I'm like, you guys are ridiculous over there on the left. You guys are the bad ones. We are the ones that got a brain. Okay, we're the ones that got a brain. We're the ones that got it together. And those on the left, not all, but a lot, they're not really all the way wrapped too tight. But I'm glad to be conservative in 2026. I would hate to be on the other side right now. You know, sucks to be y'all on the other side. I would wish that you listen to what I say and listen to what we say to come to our side. But I know that's going to be a tall task. One of the questions on the podcast I was on recently, and shout out to my man from the Earn Your 24 podcast. And again, that link will be on the community tab. And it's also, I got short clips from it in the shorts playlist. But one of the things I was telling them, hey, my whole train of thought went out the window. Because, look, I tried to weave, right? I tried to weave, but my weave normally, I started in my mind. When I'm about to do a weave, and you don't know what the weave is, you're speaking about one topic, and then you kind of divert a little bit off the path. You're going straight ahead, right? A straight line, and then you decide, you know what? I'm going to just deviate a little bit. And you go deeper and deeper until you just can't even see the road anymore. But I got to make a landmark in my mind. Okay, I was right here, boom, and then now I'm here. But I did not do that, so that's why I was trying to thought. But anyway, that was a good podcast. I really appreciated the time. I appreciated the format. And I think I'm going to do a lot more here like that with other people, because the people, that's like right down the way, right there in Atlanta. So I'll probably go down there some more. And since I'm talking about the podcast, shout out to the guy who had the actual studio. It was fantastic. Very good. The accommodations, bathroom and everything, beautiful. Look, in the studio, it was like part of their house, I guess, like on the basement or something. It was beautiful. I say, hey man, can I go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom. You got beautiful. It was almost a clawfoot tub, but it didn't have the claw feet, if you understand what I'm saying. Like it was a tub, like a raised tub, just kind of out. Like a clawfoot tub would be with no claw feet on it, but just like you know what I'm talking about. Oval shaped tub, just out, beautiful. Floors, beautiful. Everything in there was just great. It was fantastic. Really professional, good quality. Overall, 10 out of 10. I will be back there with maybe my own podcast. That's what I want to do in the future. But anyway, check that out on the shorts tab and also the community tab for sure. Stay on the path. Hey, man, I try to stay on the path, but sometimes I get diverted. I really do. But I'll give you guys more long form stuff too. But I feel like the long form videos, I'm going to just be all the way real. The long form video, people are watching less of the long form stuff and they want the short form stuff. And I saw Elon Musk say that short form videos are killing us because of our attention spans and we're just getting hooked on the quick fix. Dopamine hit. It's like going to a casino. But in my video, I try to give you like some educational value in a short form. I see some short form content where it's just them. It could be just like TikTok stuff is completely brainless. It'd be 6 seconds of nonsense. I saw somebody post something. I'm like, what is this? It's like garbage. I want to give you actual real information that you can take with you and learn from in a short period of time. Because now you guys are busy. You got things going on. But I will also give you some of the long form content as well. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Yeah, Taylor. So I think on your 24, he's more active on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. Young guy, just turned 30, I believe. So he is looking at it a little bit differently. I think he's not really a YouTube centric person. A lot of the younger audience are not necessarily very YouTube centric. Everybody's on that Chinese app. And what's happening is YouTube and Facebook and Instagram are trying to compete. I think Facebook and Instagram, Meta, are doing the best job of being able to compete with TikTok for the short form content, but YouTube is still the king for the long form content. But it's got to be a certain kind of long form content that YouTube wants. That's pretty much how that is. But shout out to you. Thank you, Wildflower. Wildflower says, ABL, that red shirt got you looking hotter than normal. Thank you. Hey, I read that. I didn't even see the last piece, but thank you for that. I appreciate you. And shout out to you, Crypto Mountain. Crypto Mountain says ABL Studios great, or the sunshades on. I appreciate that for sure. That's right. Exactly, Guy Smiley. YouTube is great with the long form content and interactive because the streaming, YouTube is going to be the spot. Not TikTok, I guess a little bit, but not anywhere near the level of YouTube. Instagram and Facebook, nowhere near the level of YouTube. I tried doing the multi-stream on Facebook, but They too funny with the copyrights on there. You can't do anything. You play 1 second from a song, copyright. It's like, come on. And then if you get a copyright, it messes your whole channel up because they reduce your visibility. So it's like, I can't stream on Facebook, but I most certainly will stream on the YouTubes. The undisputed king of the YouTube. Rumble, I have videos on Rumble, my long form content, but the streaming, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll try that and see what happens. Maybe I try to do like a multi-stream. Like if I could stream here on YouTube and then at the same time mirror it on Rumble, maybe I could do something like that. But to do a standalone stream on Rumble, it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I saw a comment I wanted to react to. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Bradley says, I have to look for ABL these days. It doesn't pop up on my homepage like it used to. Say that YouTube pulls this crap. Well, what happens is they promote new channels. See, I'm an old channel. Like I've been making content since 2015 and I had a channel since like, I had this channel, this YouTube channel since Gmail came out. Like literally since Gmail came out, I've had this channel, or whenever they had it to where YouTube became linked to Gmail. I don't know, but I'm thinking like 2008. So they want guys that just came about today to be able to get a chance to grab some of your attention on YouTube. So they're trying to promote them more. The little hype feature you may see on certain videos is not available for old channels or channels that got a certain amount of subscribers. You got to be brand new, trying to get things going. So they're trying to promote them more. But on other social media platforms, it's not quite that way because it's all based on sharing. So if you are a small channel, you can get shared. Big channel, you can get shared too. So that's pretty much what it is. I see you comment in there, Ren, talking about Jasmine Crockett got the weave. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. All right. No hot date tonight? Well, hey, Saturday, I know Wednesday, Saturday, I try to not miss any of these streams. I try my best. I try to be here all the time for these streams. So I schedule my life around these days. That Sunday be all the way turned up because that's like my off day. But yeah, I'm definitely here for you guys on a Saturday for sure. And I see a comment about the Leering Center. Shout out to Nick. Hey, Nick Shirley. Hey, shout out to you, bro. You are the best young guy out there doing it. You were fantastic. Did you guys see the video I posted of Nick Shirley in Los Angeles speaking to the Colombian migrants in the tent, which is funny. Funny, but not funny. Because, okay, you got these migrants coming to the country, I suppose illegally. I'm not really sure what's going on. But they came to the country. Maybe they were promised one thing, but then they got here. They got the little bait and switch. They got something else. They were promised one thing, and then they wound up on the tent in Skid Row in Los Angeles. Now, they're asking them, hey, is this better than living in Colombia? No, it's not. Obviously not. But in that video, Nick Shirley spoke pretty good Spanish. I'm like, okay, Nick, hey, I need to get you to be my tutor for Spanish. That's that Duolingo Plus. That's that Duolingo Max right there. But I'm sure that he probably went to some Latin American country, maybe Mexico, somewhere else for a mission because he's part of the, LDS, Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, because they go on missions. He may have gone to a Latin American country, but he also said he learned Portuguese just for 2 videos. So he knows at least Portuguese, Spanish, and English, at least those 3 languages. And remember, they tried to clown Nick Shirley for not knowing what benevolent meant. Let me tell you something right now. The average person in this country has no idea what the word benevolent means. They have no idea. Ask the average normie walking around, just regular normie. Ask them to name the capital of their own state and watch them struggle. Watch them struggle. I saw a video of a young guy being asked a question, street interview. And the question was, what is the only state that begins with the letter P? What is the only state, or what is a state that begins with the letter P? And they were in the state at the time and he didn't know what it was. Pennsylvania. Hey, he was like going through the list because he was asking for clues. Like, can I get a clue? Northeast? He said, where am I from? Delaware. You're from Delaware and you don't know Pennsylvania? Anyway, my point is the average normie does not know that much. So to not know what the word benevolent meant was kind of nothing, especially when he knows other languages. You might know what benevolent means, but do you know what that word in Spanish means? Or in Portuguese? Do you know that? Everyone does not know everything. That does not mean that they're unintelligent. You can speak to somebody for a while and ask their opinion about certain things and ask just basic questions to gauge where they are intellectually. And it doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much time at all. And you know, one thing that I've learned is when you're talking to somebody and it's clear that they're a little bit off, a little touched, about 30% off, clearance rack status. When you could tell that, don't waste your time trying to squabble with them. There's no purpose because you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. If someone is open to being educated, if they're open to learn, they got an open mind, that's great. But they want to squabble with you, ain't no point. Ain't no point. Hey, I'm going to tell a quick story, and shout out to my friend back in the day. I ain't going to say your name because we were all young. We were like in high school. And here's an example of if an adult told you this, then you start the conversation. And if an adult told you this, there is no purpose in continuing the conversation if they want to squabble, if they want to argue. We're talking about water. My friend said, hey, you know what? Water is blue. I'm like, nah, water is not actually blue. If you're looking at water in a body of water, the ocean, a lake, a pond, a river, a stream, if it looks blue, it's because you're seeing the reflection of the sky. They say a phrase like clear blue water because if the water is blue, that means there is minimal debris in the water. It's mostly clean. If it was a bunch of debris in the water, you would not see the blue color because it'd be so much dirt that the water would just show the dirt. It wouldn't be clear to reflect the sky. What did he tell me? Nah, man, it's a pigment. It's a pigment in the water that makes it blue. It's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Hey, you got it, bro. Don't worry about it. And matter of fact, I was like, nah. I ain't gonna just give up on you like that. Okay, what color is the water at night? And then he had nothing to say. It's like, okay, there we go. Nah, man, it's a pigment. It's like, if you're dealing with a grown person that's talking like that to you, don't worry about it. Just know that you have a brain and they are trying to work on it. They're trying to work on it. Don't spend no time going back and forth. Okay? Don't spend no time. Hey, I was like, hey, when you scoop the water out of the body of water into a cup, what color is the water? Hey, what color is water at that point? Is it blue or is it clear? Does it have no color? So shout out to my man. No, hey, I didn't tell your name. And we were both young. We were like 15, 16. So it's okay. But you got some grown adults that's like 42 years old that talk like that. So that'd be the problem. People that have not educated themselves and are totally just not even really trying to do it. Okay. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Limbo City says, what up, dude? You're awesome. Been listening to you since COVID. Shout out to you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Rex Rocker says, a grown woman, ex-girlfriend of mine, thought the moon had no gravity. Do you want to talk about being stupid? That's stupid. Hey, because they don't understand, because they see the video, was that Neil Armstrong or whoever bouncing on the moon? They think that's zero gravity. That's not how that works. If it was zero gravity, there wouldn't be no bouncing. It'd just be complete. It'd be nothing. Like nothing with it wouldn't. It has low gravity, but it does not have no gravity. I blame cartoons and stuff like that for giving them that thought in their mind. I blame the cartoons and some of these movies that tell them stuff like that and they believe it. Okay. Hold on. Michelle says their Google no excuse to not look it up these days. But you know what's happening now? People are not using Google as much as using the AI, and the AI be wrong, totally wrong, because it's AI. It's not going to be totally accurate. So they don't really do the research, really. They just kind of, you know what I mean? They just kind of wing it for the most part. But yeah, shout out to you. Hey, it's made of cheese. It's no gravity and made of cheese. That's pretty much how that goes. But yeah, we're going to get to a few things tonight. Obama responding to the meme and quite liberals. Hey, Toure, you got to be the dumbest person. And I've seen Toure. We'll get to him in a minute. I've seen him before. I saw him one time talking to our guy, Scott Jennings. I got to find that clip because this is part of what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the only reason why I would even respond to a guy like Toure is because he's on television and he has an influence. So it's like, oh, I found the clip. Oh my goodness. This is going to be really good when we play this because it's going to kind of underline the point that I'm making about not squabbling with these people who have, you know, they barely got two brain cells to rub together. But again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I know since we talked about the moon and gravity and all that kind of stuff, I know without even glancing over here, okay, without even glancing over here at the comments, I know there's going to be somebody that says, the firmament ain't no outer space. You got it, bro. The earth is flat. Okay, cool. Don't worry. It's okay. It's totally fine. Whatever you want to believe, I'm not squabbling with you. That's prime example right there. A flat earther, I would never. Talking about some, hey, ABL, I want to debate you about the flat earth. I ain't debating that. Why are we debating about that? That's like debating whether the moon is, in fact, made of cheese or not. I'm not having that debate. If you want to talk about that with the next 10-4 hat guy, knock yourself out. It could be the battle of the basements. From your basement and from his basement, you can have a live stream together arguing about the flat earth, the moon made of cheese, things of this nature. I'm not going to have that discussion. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. But before we go any further, shout out to you guys for watching, for being the best audience anywhere on YouTube. You know I couldn't do any of this without you. And shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to you guys, of course, first, but shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to Cameo. You could get a special message just from me, from yours truly, on Cameo. Link will be in the box. Or go to cameo.com, search Anthony Brian Logan ABL. I'll pop up. You can find me there. Also, please go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the t-shirts, stickers, the hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, if you're watching a video, regular, long form, or short, there should be a button on there with a little shopping cart. Whatever the hat is I have on, it'll be right there at that button. So you could just say, hey, I like that hat. Boom, click right there, get your hat, and be on your way. But shout out to you guys for going to the merch website. Also, go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long form video that I produce, I write an article that has sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democratic, Republican, local, international, national, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN. I'm a little bit distracted because Twitter has changed their layout, their color. Like normally I could do like a medium, like a gray tone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Messing my whole thing up. See this? Normally this would be a darker color, but the dark color is too high contrast. It's just straight black and white. The previous color, it was like this. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. The previous color was like, see that type of, it's like that. It's kind of hard to show here. It's like a gray rather than straight black. So as I'm trying to get through my script in my mind, I'm seeing this big beam of light all in my eye. It's crazy. But anyway, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Hey, I can spell my own name. I promise I can. I'm not one of these, guys that's a little bit off. I'm not 85% off in the clearance rack. I can spell my own name. But anyway, go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you ever think you're speaking to me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not if you did not email me first at my email, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, on the contact page of the website. If you did not email me there and I didn't email you back, it's not me talking at you. It's somebody else 10,000 miles away, somewhere way over the rainbow. They could be India. Y'all know how they be. No sandals, no socks, no nothing. Straight bare feet on the ground, making your face mask, okay? Making your clothing and stuff. And by the way, I'm asking you guys a question. When you guys get clothes, do you just put them on right away and go outside and live your life, or do you put them in the washing machine first? I always wash my clothes that I get first because I don't know whose toes that they've been on. I don't know what floor they've been on. I don't know what factory, what kind of stuff they got going on. I'm going to wash that stuff first. But anyway, it could be one of those guys trying to scam you, or somebody over in Eastern Europe trying to escape the Russian-Ukraine conflict, trying to scam you. Boris, Igor, Vladimir, one of them trying to get you. Or it's going to be a guy named Adewale. It's going to be a guy named Ogun. It's going to be a guy named Ogun Adewale. Some iteration of that over in Lagos, Nigeria, trying to get all your money. Y'all know how it's going to sound. You have contacted ABL. This is me today. I promise this is my voice. Do not believe the guy that you see on that camera. That is an act. I am the real dude. Give me the gift card today. Do not worry. This is not a scam. I will give you your money back. That's not me. I promise it's not. If I sound like that on the phone when you're talking to somebody who you think is ABL, that's not ABL. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I have an update on that dog story that you may have seen. Remember story, you guys may have seen it, may not have seen it. In Louisville, Kentucky, there was a dog who saved a boy. It was a missing boy reported. The police come out, and as they're searching, a dog comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, follow me." He didn't start talking, obviously, but he led the officers right to where the boy was. Now, the boy was in the car. My guess is what happened. He wandered out the house some way, got into somebody's car, and couldn't get himself out. That's what I think happened. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it was his parents or his mom or whatever. It wasn't their car, because if it was, then he wouldn't have been missing, because they would have gone to the car and saw him. But anyway, here's an update on that story, because people are asking, hey, did the dog have a home? What's going on? Check it out.
Real-life Lassie is being hailed as a hero. The neighborhood dog helped police find a missing child last month.
WLKY's Andrea Turner met that hero today.
Well, not all heroes wear capes. Some have 4 paws. And while the dog couldn't tell me his name or how he led the police to the missing child, one thing's for certain: he's a good boy.
You good boy.
We don't know his name, so for now,
You say the boy?
we'll call him Louisville's
Oh,
Lassie.
you a hero. You know that? You a hero.
If you happen to see paw prints winding through this Okolona neighborhood, there's a good chance they belong to him. This neighborhood dog is being hailed a hero for helping Louisville police find a missing child back in January. And after LMPD shared this story, we went to go find him.
He's always out here like this, but he's a good dog.
Around here, everyone knows him. He's part of the scenery, part of the routine.
On my bike, he always chased me on the bike. You know, he don't never really, he's just having fun. He don't bite nobody.
A furry friend who, according to police, helped find a missing 3-year-old on a cold winter day.
Anytime you have a kid that young, you're fearful.
They pulled out all the stops to find him: officers on foot, a drone, air unit, and then something unexpected came along.
As I'm walking to the front, the craziest thing happened. There's a dog, starts walking with me.
This dog, not trained, not commanded, just moving with purpose, leading him towards a backyard, and to the officer's surprise,
He's right here. I got him.
So we went over, it was in an SUV in the backyard.
Yeah, he's right here.
The kid was in the front passenger seat, terrified.
he led the officers right to the little boy. And because of this dog, that little boy made it home safely.
You see, that's God working through that animal.
A search ending in the best way possible. Ready? Ready or not, he showed up when a little boy needed help, becoming Louisville's Lassie. D'Andrea Turner, WLKY News.
A hero for sure. Well, according to the neighbors, the dog does have a home, and on warm days, he wanders the neighborhood, a place where everyone knows him, and now no one will forget him.
There we go. So the dog does have a home, because people are kind of worried about that. It's like, okay, is he strayed? Does he have a home? Yeah, I know a lot of dogs like that where, they'll be in the house with the owner. Then it's like, okay, I'm going to just kind of hang out in the neighborhood. There's a lot of dogs like that. But it's very common in West Virginia. You could just have dogs being outside. In the summertime, I'll be up there outside walking around, and you could get basically like a free dog that just walk with you. Or sometimes dogs going to attack you. They might try to bite you. But obviously that dog right there, good boy out there just doing good work for the neighborhood. Shout out to the dog. Okay, now, I gave you that update. Now I got a little bit of cringe, okay? A little bit of cringe. Leave my students alone is a sign here, but there's a song that goes with it. You ready? Let's check it out.
Imagine no Donald Trump. No tyrants in the Oval Office. No authoritarians. Just love for me and you. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Imagine all the people singing no more kings. Singing no more kings. Yeah. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
All right. Okay. That's enough. That's enough torture. That's enough torture. So yeah. And you know what? There was a little bit of harmony there, a little bit. Okay. And you got the outfit and all that. You got the Texas flag and the jeans and the belt buckle, the hat. You could be cowboy hat. You could be a good country local artist, but instead, what we're doing, we're using our powers for evil. We're using the powers of good music for evil. That's really unfortunate. So yeah, shout out to them. Hey, did that song change your mind? Did that song make you want to become liberal and go out there and support what they support? Y'all let me know if it did. Y'all let me know. Now, speaking about migrants and stuff like this, so, you know, we got a lot of the ICE raids happening in Minnesota. That's been a really big raid area. And I showed that picture before. I'm going to show it one more time just for context about all the ICE activity happening in the nation compared to the election results 2024. Hold on. I'm going to show you that right quick again, just for context, so we can kind of see what's going on. Now, remember the picture. This is ICE activity now compared to the 2024 election results. And it pretty much matches up. High areas on the border, but right there, Minneapolis, big area up there. Basically, the entire state of Minnesota is ICE activity. But of course, the epicenter is going to be right there in Minnesota. Now, what I think is that their whole economy is based on the illegal immigration. That's just my opinion. Well, the whole economy, maybe not the entire economy, but a big piece of their economy is dependent on the illegal aliens. So we have a business owner right here who says, you know what? Ever since the ICE raids have been happening, hey, we can't really make it.
We are behind.
And RIP to the headphone users. Let me start from the top.
We are behind, and we're one of many companies quite behind, several weeks behind.
As her subcontractors are faced with this daily question with ICE in the community.
Are you comfortable going to work?
The answer, increasingly, is no, as more are detained at or on their way to work.
How do I guarantee you that just because you've done things through due process, that if you show up to work today, nothing's going to happen to you?
You can't.
We can't.
And while her customers are understanding, work has nearly stopped. Cash flow doesn't add up. And she fears after 15 years in business, this will be her last.
We don't have very many crews working at all right now, but the ones that we do are taking risk. When it happens to someone you know and care about, it means something different. But I know I'm far from the only one in the situation that I'm in. I'm genuinely very afraid of what's going to happen.
I assume building will slow, costs for these services will go up. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yes. What I'm hopeful for is that we can all come together and work together to make this process safer and more efficient. How do we protect the people that we need to protect? And it's just not that simple anymore.
Well, look, you know, the solution, obviously, hold on, let me just get a good freeze frame right here. The obvious solution is to not use illegal alien labor. That's the clear solution. And if your business cannot survive without illegal alien labor, I don't know what to tell you. You better figure something else out, because you can't just break the log like that. If you're a regular person working, going to 9 to 5, doing your thing, you cannot break the law. So why should anyone else break the law with no kind of consequence? If they're here illegally, they got to go. Now, you want to get people to come over here on a visa or just coming as a legal immigrant, that's one thing. But if they're here illegally, paperwork not right, I don't know what to tell you. What you want is cheap labor, ultimately. You want guys to be framing houses for $10 an hour. $10 an hour. Why would any American do that? The cost of your business is artificially low. What I think should happen in this country is a renaissance of family-owned construction businesses, like the Amish do. Okay, the Amish don't have no illegal aliens working on their situation. I mean, as far as I know, I've never seen an Amish work site with illegal aliens working. And if y'all have seen that, please let me know. And I've never seen that in my life. Take their model. Go out there, do work yourself. Find guys that's going to work for the money that needs to be paid. And if you can't find that, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, you know, sometimes this business ain't for everybody. You're a contractor, whatever. It's not for everybody. Now, speaking about things that are not for everybody, and in my opinion, not for anyone, socialism. Now, this man right here is apparently an NYU professor, of course, because look at the way Look at the outfit. Look at the drip. Of course, he's an NYU professor, but he's going to debate a young man that I've seen before. I forget his name. If y'all remember, let me know in the comments. But the young man is Venezuelan, but I think he's in New York. He's like a political guy. He had a really good take on the whole Venezuela situation that happened where we got Maduro up out of there with the discombobulator. Now, this is going to be a debate between the professor and the young Venezuelan man. Who do you think will win? Let's check it out.
Are you excited about the socialist program that he is proposing, Zoran Mandani?
I'm for it all the way. I'm a professor.
At NYU, I'm assuming?
Yes.
What do you make of the socialism system being tried in other countries in the past and failing miserably?
I don't think it failed.
I have a friend here who is from Venezuela himself.
I'm from Venezuela. I am very worried about the rise of socialism in the U.S. because those are the policies that make me escape my country.
You know what? Your country is completely different from over here.
I agree. And I think socialism will destroy it, just like it did Venezuela. We were democratic too, remember?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody ever been as democratic as the U.S.
Do you support the proposal of government grocery stores?
Of course I do.
Venezuela is the largest peacetime refugee crisis in human history. 9 million people.
Wow.
It's all because of the socialist policies. Government grocery store. Believe me, you didn't want to eat that food. I had to line up for hours. It was a line for blocks and blocks for a grocery store. And that's my fear.
I'm always open to new ideas. We need to change it.
I'll tell you, I prefer the status quo over what happened to Venezuela.
It's all about money, my friend. Corruption.
Wait, what do you think the grocery store sells you food? For charity or for money?
For money.
That's not a bad thing. I think we need more free markets, not less.
What we need here, rent control. Stop raising the rent every year.
We need more apartment units available. That means we need to let people build. New York City builds less total housing units than Austin, Texas, a city that is 1/8 of the size of New York.
We need a change.
But then the change that we need is one that increases the supply of housing, right? Not that one that will decrease it like Mamdani.
It doesn't work out, the same people who voted for him will vote him out of office.
All right, there we go. So what do y'all think? What I think is the Mamdani experiment, we'll get to that later. The Mamdani experiment is not going to last too long. It's not, because they're going to see things not going right in the city, and it's going to be pretty quick. Like a place like New York City, it's not, you talking about like what, 20 million people in the area, like 8 in the city proper, 8 million in the city proper. That's a lot of people to be responsible for as a mayor. So if and when he does not do things properly, there's going to be a swift reaction, a swift and pronounced reaction to what he's doing. The policies that he's trying to promote, free this, free that, the communism, socialism, it never works. And in New York, it's going to go very quickly. They're going to realize quick that it's not going to work. With the trash, it's already kind of an issue, but they'll see for sure beyond the trash in a very short period of time. Now, let's go to Tarjay. Have you guys been to Tarjay, aka Target, recently? Now, this is their Black History Month area. I don't know where this is, what part of the country this is in, but let's check it out.
All right, Black History Month at Target. Pretty brown ting, because that's how we talk. I said what I said. Nothing like a sassy black woman to start the morning off. Oh. Afro picks and combs. Cool. Bill Cosby's sweater. Alright. Oh shit. Roots, the bag. Alright.
Hey, so do you guys, hold on. Do you guys want a Roots handbag? Let me know, because, hey, if one of y'all ladies in there wants the Roots bag, you know, hey, I don't mind. I go out there and get it for you. It'd be a nice little gift. Happy Black History Month, birthday, Valentine's Day, anniversary. Boom, get that Roots bag. Okay, and then one of y'all gonna get the I said what I said, and the Nene Leach. One of y'all gonna get that. And the pretty brown thing, hey, that's gonna be a top seller. I need that. I need that to give to one of the young ladies. Okay, so hey, shout out to Target. They tried. You know, hey, Tarjay. Listen, Tarjay. It's funny. It's all jokes. But I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the diversity, because this could be, hey, you know what? I'd much rather have the pretty brown ting t-shirt rather than the LGBTQ elemental P X, Y, and Z clothing for minors, I'd much rather that. So this is definitely an upgrade from that. So shout out to Sarge. All right. Say y'all don't want it, Debbie. It's all good. It's all good. Now, speaking about Black history, et cetera, here's a joke from a comedian, Hans Kim, about Black Americans not being deported from ICE. And then there's a response to his joke, and the guy's not very amused. Okay, let's watch this first. All right, and let's check it out.
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You're just giving them more room to breathe. But I understand, can you imagine the shape you have to be in to deport black people?
There we go. There's a joke. That's pretty much a joke right there. You know, talking about, the crime. Hey, man, you're not going after the main people. And then, like, you want to catch one of us, what you going to do? Hey, even right now, at 41 years old, I can dust most people in the foot race. Right now. Now, my knee might not be the same ever again after I race you, but I can still do it. Hey, that knee is not kneeing the way it used to. The ankle is kind of janky. Since I was young, it's been kind of janky. So, hey, but I'm going to still probably outrun you. You better be in shape to catch up with me, for sure. Now, somebody did not like that joke very well, okay?
Asian.
Now, first of all, can I tell a joke? Can I tell a joke? Is that not the same guy? I'm just saying. Is that not the exact same guy we just saw? Because if it's not, I can't tell. Now, he's offended though. Okay, the evil twin is offended. Let's watch.
Asian American, the only valid reaction you should have to that video is disgust and, frankly, embarrassment. And now, when Asian communities are under attack, the fact that we're still throwing the Black community under the bus shows how desperate some of us are to cling to this proximity to whiteness as our saving grace, as if that is going to keep us safe and protect our families when it never has before. A lot of us talk about how Asian discrimination and racism is downplayed, but it shouldn't come as a surprise when so many of us are so quick to disavow any solidarity with other communities of color. If you are part of an immigrant family, I know you know how rampant anti-Blackness is in our world, and to see it perpetuated in the name of humor and an unfunny joke is embarrassing. Asian Americans.
All right, there's a lot I want to say here. There's a lot. First of all, I don't like the term communities of color because you're just trying to lump everybody in the same boat, and we're not in the same boat. Furthermore, what color are you? If you're going to be all the way real, you are white the same as a European, skin color wise. You have different facial, you got eyes and your nose. That's different. Your face is different, but your skin is the same. Am I not seeing? And it's the same thing with like sub-Saharan Black folks and like South Indians. We got a very similar, if not the exact same skin tone, but we got different features on our face. But anyway, I don't like the whole communities of color moniker. And beyond that, the joke wasn't really, I mean, like, it's a joke. It's okay. It wasn't really that bad. And beyond that, when you're talking about being persecuted as a people, the Asians right now, I mean, y'all not the target. And if you are, then anybody really complaining. Anybody complaining. I've seen some of the Asians get rounded up by ICE. And these are people that are here illegally and they're criminals. Nobody complains. It's not really a big deal. The target is not Asians or Hispanics or Blacks. The target is whoever is here illegally. So if you got a Black guy, an African or whatever, Caribbean here illegally, well, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You're Hispanic, Mexican, Guatemalan, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. You're from Vietnam, China, Korea, South Korea. You got to go back. Simple as that. So yeah, shout out to my man. Hey, you know what? I appreciate your concern. I appreciate you being offended for me, but I'm good, bro. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. We could tell jokes. He told his Black guys crime running fast joke. I told my Asians are all the exact same in the face joke, and we're even. All right. So yeah, shout out to him and shout out to my man that told the joke. Funny guy. Now, this video, hey. Oh my goodness. Okay. I almost did a reaction to this, but I ain't know how to do it. I was going to do like a regular short or a long. I ain't know how to do it. So I'm gonna do it right now since I couldn't figure out how to do it before. Now, if you don't know who this is, this is Toure. Toure is I guess you would say journalist, reporter. I don't know what he is, but he does a lot of television. I've seen him on CNN with Scott Jennings. We'll get to that in a minute. I think I've seen him on MSNBC, Joy Reid. He's that kind of guy. Okay. Now, here he's going to say that it's okay for a white person to call a black person the N-word if he does not like the black guy. Watch. And when I say he, I mean Toure. If Toure does not like the black guy in question, then it's okay for the white guy to call him the N-word. Be on the same page? Let's watch.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word. But we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white male called the black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK. That's right, we have a white man calling a black man the N-word. But this is a little bit different. White on black usage of the N-word is a very serious issue. But this is a curveball example. Is it wrong for a white person to call a black ICE officer a house N-word? Let's explore. The white man who used the N-word in this situation was being historically precise. This black ICE agent, he is being a house N-word to the utmost degree. A black man in ICE is a modern house slave. He's a barely paid mule for white supremacy. The KKK were domestic terrorists. ICE is domestic terrorism. I think this is a valid usage of the N-word. He's not attacking his blackness per se. He's attacking his bootlicking choice to be in ICE while being a black man. Being black in ICE makes you a house N-word. So to call you that, it's almost like a professor pointing out, oh look, there's a modern house N-word. I think this usage is valid and acceptable. If it had just been the N-word, that would be problematic. But when he adds the house N-word, he's being historically realistic. So yes, it is okay to call black ICE agents house N-words. They are.
Okay, there's so much to this.
Let
me just come back. All right, now Toure, big time leftist, huge leftist. It's always a white man this, white man this, white man that. Always blaming the white man. But it's okay for this white man who we always rails against, call him a racist, sexist, fascist. It's okay for that same white man to call a black man the N-word if Toure thinks the black guy deserves it. Now, Toure, let's just use your line of reasoning and apply it to other things. What if you have a cop, a black cop, okay? You have a black cop, a black police officer. Can he be called a black house N-word? Can he be called that? Because he's a cop? Or do the police support white supremacy? Are the police the modern day slave patrol? So where do we end? How about black guys in the military? How about veterans on the street, homeless? Oh, because they fought for the country, and you think that's wrong, then they are also the house N-word. I mean, where do we stop? Either it's okay to use racial slurs or it's not. And if it's not, then it's not. And it shouldn't matter the context. But guys like Toure, I don't like because they read a bunch of books. Shout out to I see one book in the back, 1984. Good book, George Orwell right there. Got a lot of good books back there. Some not so good, but so what? If you still retarded, you reading doesn't make a difference. Your mind is not right. All those books won't improve your mindset. You're going to read those books from your challenged mindset. Until you fix that, all those books ain't going to do nothing for you. You're going to take whatever you want from those books and apply it to your life rather than getting what you need from those books to apply to your life. And rather than reading books you should read that's going to really improve you, you're going to read what is going to validate you, what you already believe, what you already feel. Now, I'm going to show you an example of how retarded this guy is. Let me show you an example. Okay, Toure. This is him. And I've played the video before. I've played this before. This is going to be Toure on CNN, on a CNN panel. Okay, let's watch this. This is going to be, I don't know, last year, I suppose, sometime. Let's check it out.
Both of you all made an interesting point, which is that your view is that Trump is shredding the Constitution. I'd like to hear more about that. But that it seems to me that you all both believe that the unelected part of our government, the bureaucracy, has a responsibility to resist the political leadership. Is that your view?
That's not actually
That's
what
not
we
at all
said. We
what I
said they
said.
are
Yeah, it is.
upholding the Constitution, the principles of the Constitution, and at times
How
that we
is
have
Trump
seen.
shredding the Constitution?
My God, he's like.
I mean, seriously, do we have to give you a civics lesson that we have? I don't know that we put all power in the executive
How is
branch,
holding the
the legislative branch, the FBI. Now we're in control of the military. We're silencing media.
Commander-in-Chief,
This
head
is
of the
what you
military.
do in a dictatorship.
Are you suggesting that the president is not the commander-in-chief of the military?
I am suggesting that the president is going to put in charge somebody who is going to contravene the Constitution. And at some near point, this conversation will look very silly for you because it will be obvious. And right now, you're gaslighting. But when we get to the actual rubber of the road of this, it will be clear.
I'm interested in this conversation. He's going to put someone in charge who will contravene the Constitution. Like who? What do you mean by that? The president is in charge of the military, is he not? You said,
Huh? What? Really? For real? Befuddled. Really? The president is in charge of the military? The president is the chief commanding officer? Yes. Yes, Toure. Yes, he is. You didn't know that? Oh, okay. Watch this.
I'm interested in this conversation. He's going to put someone in charge who will contravene the Constitution. Like who? What do you mean by that? The president is in charge of the military, is he not? You said he's going to put someone in charge of the military?
The president is in charge of the military.
Hey, he had to get saved by Abby. Abby had to come in and save him. Hey, shout out to you, Abby. I like you, Abby. You're cool. But that was a crazy save. That was a crazy save because your friend needed it because he was out there about to die. Look at his face. He needed to get saved. So shout out to Abby for coming through and saving him. Hey, right at the bell. It's like a boxer getting beat up on the rope. He getting hit. Boom, boom, boom. He go to the bell and he's saved. So yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. People that don't know anything, that think they're smart, they go out there and talk like they know something. And then when they talk for a while, you're going to start to realize, like, you know what? You're not really all the way there. You got a few trees short of a forest. You're a few crayons short of a whole 64 count box. Okay? You're a couple eggs short of a dozen. You're not all the way there. And that's what I'm talking about right there. And the reason why I would even respond to a guy like this is because he's on TV. He's on TV with a platform. People listen to him and they believe what he says. So I got to come in and I have to be able to fact check him the same way that Scott Jennings did. You see? See how that works? All right. So there we go. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. This is funny. Now, this person lives in a house full of alternative lifestyle type people. You got the LGBT and the trans and the this and the that. And we got the septum ring. Okay, we got all the things in one house. Now, I believe her mom or somebody came through with a shirt that got them all triggered. Check it out.
So, we all know I'm incredibly queer. I also live with 2 trans men. My mother has been coming over to assist with some moving and organizing and things. And she really thought it was a bright idea to wear an I Am Charlie Kirk shirt into an entirely queer household. We also know I'm disabled. That's a textbook trauma bond. I have to ask for help. She comes and slaps me in the fucking face. Intentionally. insidiously.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that is hilarious. That is so funny. Hey, first of all, RIP to my brother, Charlie. Okay, that's my brother right there. Hey, he white, I don't care. That's my brother. RIP to Charlie. And shout out to mom. Hey, you know what? That's mom testing to see if you're truly inclusive. Okay, she over there helping you out. I did not hear anything in that video. You talking about paying her any money? Nah. Mommy, can you come help? Sure, baby, I'll come on and help you. Okay, you and them 2 transformers you got, and except some ring, I'm gonna come help you. But check it out. I'm wearing this shirt. You mad? You mad? Oh well. Oh well. I thought y'all were inclusive, but it's not for me. You see, conservatives, we're really inclusive. Not only will I come help you, I'll come help your 2 trans friends, and it ain't gonna be no big deal. But you gotta accept me. If I'm gonna accept you, you gotta accept me. So shout out to her, shout out to mom. That is funny. That is hilarious. And RIP to Charlie. RIP. All right, now here's a good one. Here's a good one. For the Valentine's Day, I got a little dating thing in here, but it's about this woman. Her TikTok page, it says she's Slavic, European, right? So you got a Slavic, like Polish. A Slavic woman says that she's gone out with liberal men, but these guys do not hold a candle up to the Republican men. All right, let's check it out.
I went out with few liberal men and they were poor. You know why they're usually poor and Republicans are not? Because they think about some bullshit that brings them no money. They think about immigrants' rights, this rights and this rights. I realize these people are changing the country, you can say that. But also you're a man. Bring money, bring revenue to this country. This is the best way you can change it. Bring something beneficial for everybody. They study all of this bullshit, democracy, blah, blah, but then they never make the actual change. And the actual change would be make a sustainable business. You care about ecology, make this, that. You have so many options. This is America. They can only study these theories. They can only go on riots, but actually they never do anything. They don't even provide for their families. We care about women's rights so much. You pay 50-50 with a woman. You don't fucking respect her. Shut the fuck up.
All right, there we go. So sorry for the cussing. I apologize if you get sensitive ears. I'm sorry. But that's right on point. Now listen. What she's saying is right on point. These liberal guys, man, they're not trying to really actually do anything. The liberal guys, what they want to do, they want to go protest for money. They want to try to get some government benefits. Full grown man, fully able, 25 years old. This dude 6 foot tall, in shape, at the crib chilling. It's like, bro, you're just wasting your life. What are you doing? But the conservative guys or Republican guys, the guys that I know that's conservative, we out here, we got businesses, take care of kids, take care of families, take care of everything. Okay, we make stuff happen. We really go out there, we go getters. We're not lazy, we're not soft. We're gonna be the ones that drive the country forward in a serious way. The liberal guys going to protest or pro-feminist guys don't actually do anything other than that. So yeah, she is right on point. All right. And I know she's somewhere with a nice Valentine's right now. I already know it. I already know. All right. Shout out to her. Now, she will have a date, but this one here, this young lady, I'm not quite so sure. Now, what we've seen quite a bit in Minnesota is a lot of the white liberal women harassing the ICE agents, police, or whoever. But usually the ICE agents, Border Patrol, whatever, they're harassing them. And in my humble opinion, what they want is that masculine energy that they don't get from the liberal guys in Minneapolis. Okay, that's what's going on in my humble opinion. Now, this could be more of the same. And it needs to stop because while you're harassing the police, you're taking time away from their police work. And their police work is what makes us all safe in this country. And not just them, but of course, military, everybody else. But locally, right where you at, the police do the most to keep you safe. You getting in the way, you're just in the way in general. But let's watch.
What are you doing?
What am I doing here?
Why are you here?
I was just doing a collision report, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys going to be here much longer?
Until I'm done doing my job.
Because one of the teachers, when I dropped off over there, said y'all been circling since about 8.
Okay. Well, I'm just doing my job, so the quicker I do
Your
my
job
job...
at the elementary school since about 8 a.m.?
I wasn't here at
There was
8
a
a.m.
collision here at the elementary school?
You have a good day. I'm going to continue to do my
You
job.
work for us and you're scaring these families.
Okay. Well,
You
I'm
should
gonna
probably
continue
go
to do
do
my
your
job.
where your job lives.
Okay,
Because I don't
so-
see that it needs to be right here all morning.
I'm going to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
The person that I was just working with
Mhm.
left approximately 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
This was a collision report for them.
Mhm.
I'm doing my job.
Can
I
you
gave them all their information.
Can you maybe, like for a second, acknowledge that you could be a really upsetting sight for people right now?
Look, ma'am, I'm just doing my job.
I
okay?
get it.
So-
I get it. But like for us to be able to collaborate with y'all at all going forward, you're gonna have to show us some humanity. You're gonna have to show us
And I
that
was
you
just-
understand the circumstances and the feelings that you evoke. Because like, it would be so rad to feel like you're here for us. It would be so rad to feel like you guys get it and understand
I mean,
that you are
ultimately, I
actually
am-
the defending line between us and the fucking fascism. But until like that's overt, that you're part of our community,
Well, ma'am,
then I don't think you should be lingering
with
here.
absolutely all due respect, I'm not going to continue to go back and forth. I'm going to try to finish my job as fast as possible. Okay. Okay. Keep in mind that you are cussing. We are in front of a school, so please just
That
keep
is
that
fair.
in mind. Okay.
I'll give you that. That's fair.
Okay. So the quicker I get this done, I can leave. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
just
really,
please-
really not trying to
please
bother
really
you.
be
Okay.
thinking about these kids and these moms.
Look, I get it, ma'am.
You know what moms are going through right now, right?
I do understand that, but let me just please. I'll get this out of the way, and I'll be out of everyone's
I
hair.
sure
okay?
would appreciate that.
Yep. You have a good rest of your day.
You
okay?
too.
Okay, so it's like, what's the point in doing all that? Why do all that? I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing the report. What are you doing? You took all them 2 minutes. You took all them 2 minutes
Get it.
to just work this guy's nerve. And the time you took, he could have used to do the report and he would have been out of that area sooner. And then I don't like this whole thing where they say, oh, well, we want you to collaborate. I don't need your collaboration. Awful. And if you don't know, again, that acronym, AWFUL, affluent, white, female, urban, liberal, awful. These awfuls just get in the way, make things take more time, trying to film me, trying to go viral, trying to get content. It's like, man, you just really in the way. You're getting in the way and you're in the way in general. So get out the way, let me work, and you'll continue to be safe. That's what I would say. So yeah, shout out to the sheriff out there. That wasn't even ICE. That was just like local people. See what I'm saying? They mess with everybody. ICE, Border Patrol, regular police, whoever. Hey, he better than me. I tell you what, he's much better than me because the patience, man, look, I have a lot of patience, but at a certain point, hey, I got to do that my door today, call himself soliciting. We don't really do that. We got a sign that said no soliciting. So I saw his shirt, it said True Green. It's like, no, I'm good, bro. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. You know, you should be like high pressure. Well, your neighbor, have a nice day. Have a good one. Hey, I got that dude in and out of there in 5 seconds. 5 seconds flat. Like, boom. You ain't going to talk to me in the front of my house. Just like the cop. I'm not sitting there talking to you for this whole half hour over what I'm doing in this car right now. We're not doing that. Now, this is a video that may cause an argument among some people about the generation gap between the boomers and maybe millennial Gen Z. I can't tell how old the person is talking to her boomer dad, but she's saying that she's trying to tell her father that they had it easier in his generation than she has it to buy a home. But he's not really feeling that too tough. He pretty much, he shut that down pretty quickly. Let's watch. And let me get some sound and the video and let's let it rock.
The reason why you guys could afford houses was
we
because
worked our ass off and bought it.
okay, but you're trying to say that we don't work.
No,
Everything's
I'm saying
very
you're
expensive.
an idiot because you're living in a house paying all that rent.
Okay.
All right? All you got to do is you're
All right.
paying more rent than you would a mortgage.
Okay. How am I going to get a mortgage?
Well, you save up your money and
How? I'm paying the rent.
Oh my God, what a freaking asshole.
The reason
I'm sorry for the cussing, but he had to say that at the end. Now, look, here's my opinion about this. He's right, but she has a point as well. But he's mostly right, and I'm going to explain. Yes, things were much cheaper during the boomer generation when they were coming up, when they were young to buy a house. Yes, things were much cheaper, but what did you actually make back then? How were you able to make money? Did they have access to credit cards? Did they have access to payday loans and Klarna and all this and that and all kind of extra stuff? And they had to work very hard in order to get what they wanted, regardless of whether it was cheaper. They had to go very hard and sacrifice to get what they wanted. All the modern day creature comforts that we have, they did not have. This is before cell phones, internet, DoorDash, Uber Eats. All these creature comforts that we pay for, by the way, we pay a nice premium, Ozempic, all of that. And by the way, talking about Ozempic again, if you can afford Ozempic, then you're able to afford diet and exercise rather than Ozempic. But that's a different story, and I digress. My point is that we pay for quite a few things today that were not even available during the boomer generation. So yes, they worked hard. My parents worked very hard. My mom at one point had 2 jobs. My dad at one point, no lie, had 4 jobs. 4. He was not Jamaican. Shout out to the Jamaicans working very hard. Okay. Probably, I think the Jamaicans are probably the hardest working group in the country. If they not, they like right there in the top 3. But anyway, 4 jobs. He was a firefighter. So you do the 9 days a month, 24-hour shifts. Then he was like a security guard. He worked at Home Depot, and he had one more. I forget what the other job was. It might have been like a janitor or something. Like 4 jobs. And my mom had 2. And so I'm like 11 years old, 12 years old, coming home, ain't nobody there. But that's what it took to be able to raise me and to take care of themselves. The newer generation does not have that work ethic in the same way that boomers did. I'm going to just say that. And I'm not saying there's not a difference between today's economy and yesterday's economy. Yes, there's a difference. But there's also a difference in the effort level that the boomers had and what the new generation has. Does that make any sense? Yeah, the iPhones. New iPhone, $2,000 every month, every year. Okay, then you got to have the subscription for the iPhone. Then you got to have the subscription for your... A lot of y'all, one thing that is kind of surprising to me is the Uber Eats and the DoorDash. I played a video before where it was a guy talking about he's an auto financer and looks at bank statements, and like 70% of people's debt sometimes is Uber Eats. 70%. Think about it. The thing that would cost you probably $8 if you just went to the store, got the ingredients and cooked it, or maybe 15 if you went to the store and bought it, it's going to cost 25 because you're just ordering it from Uber Eats. And you're ordering it multiple times a day. That's going to add up. That's going to add all the way up. So the consumption we have nowadays and the reduction in work ethic has caused people to not have what they really want, to not be able to achieve the dreams their parents did. Just because we have more technology and things could be easier to do does not mean that your level of effort has to just vanish. You still got to go out there and really put in the effort to get what you want in 2026, the same way it was in 1976, 1986, 1996, and etc. You know, everybody want a beautiful house. Everybody don't want to live in the hood. It's like, wait a minute, you got to live in the hood too. And when my parents had all those jobs, we were still in the hood. It wasn't a bad hood, but it was a hood. People just want to work one job, barely, halfway, and live in a mansion. It's like, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now, speaking about working, this guy says he had a job. This guy says he worked at Amazon. I think he was like a shift leader or something like that as one of the pickers. Pickers with a P. Basically, you order something on Amazon, it has to be physically picked out of piles to put into your package to mail to you. Okay, let's hear from him right quick.
I used to tell my new hires, if you have a gym membership, cancel it because you're doing 12 hours of calisthenics. You must eat, sleep, and repeat. If you go outside of that, you won't last. Whether you're young or old, Amazon will find a way to burn you out.
It's just another form of prison, it seems. Is that fair?
I would say also slavery. It's slavery fast forward 400 years. The same productivity system that was used to pick cotton is the same system that Amazon used to pick items. That was my job title at Amazon. I was a picker. You know, they say warehouse associate, but their department is called pick. And we used to be called pickers. And we're doing the same thing as what they did in the cotton fields. When people order items from Amazon, somebody is picking that item for it to be packed and shipped out.
And they're actually called pickers.
They're called pickers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I used to tell my...
Okay, I don't like the overlay of the logos at the end of the clip. That's kind of a little funny, but anyway. Now listen, I understand the reference of pickers, picking cotton, picking stuff, but clearly it's not slavery because the key component to slavery is lack of choice. If you want to pick cotton for free, go ahead. If you want to pick anything for free, then go ahead if you want to, but you don't have to. Back then, it was a requirement. You must pick this for free. You must build that for free. You must paint this for free. You must breastfeed the baby for free. It was a requirement. It was no choice in the matter. But now you got choice. Hey, if you're a young guy, you athletic, you got some strength, ability, go do that. I would do that job all day long if I was young. If I'm 17 years old in high school, something like that. Yeah, all day. Man, Old Country Buffet was similar because you got to do a lot of physical work. I worked at I worked at Sam's Club. Working at Sam's Club when I was like 16 in high school, like before 12th grade started, in the summertime before 12th grade started, loading these big carts, pushing the carts, loading up people's vans to take to their grocery stores and stuff like this, their little corner stores. Yeah, I mean, you lifting up heavy items. Somebody brought a piano one time from Sam's Club. You had to load that. You're going to do that when you're young. You're going to do this kind of heavy work. And I think that especially men, we should do stuff like that. But your objective is to do that for a while and then move on. Not to do that forever, and you're not going to be stuck there doing that same exact thing. So this guy looks to be, he probably in pretty good shape. And I would presume some of that has to do with his job working at Amazon as a picker. So it's okay. It's fine. If I was young, I'd most certainly do that. I'm 17, a little part-time or whatever, for sure, all day long. All right. And then, what's the crazy part? Somebody said it. The robots are going to come in and do all that anyway. So, hey, get a job while you can. Get you a low-skill, easy job while you can. And when I say easy, I mean it's not difficult. You're not doing any kind of physical, you're not doing any kind of brain power activity. You just going and really, literally getting an item out of a bin. That's all you're doing. It's hard work, but it's easy mentally. Okay. Let's talk about teachers right quick.
We live in a time.
Teachers, shout out to the teachers out there. I know you guys have a hard job. What do you do when you have disruptive kids in the class and you got to cater to them because they can't be disciplined? What do? You got a class, 28 students, only 2 of the kids are bad. What do? Do you do the old classic special ed move? Do you do that like how I did with the disruptive black kids back in the day, put in special ed, or you just let them kind of hang out in there, do whatever they want? Because if you remove them, then it's racist. What actually happens? Before I begin the video, I used to hate when I be in the class trying to learn, trying to get educated, and you got 1 kid or 2 kids acting the fool. I used to hate it because it's like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just trying to get this job. I'm trying to get this done. Trying to get up out of here, trying to get my grade, and you in the way. I don't like it. The worst was when they try to fight. Oh, Lord. Man, come on with that. Like, let's just do this work. But anyway, let's watch.
We live in a time where kids who cause all the problems have more rights to stay in the classroom than the kids who are well behaved have a right to even learn. It's bonkers to me. How can anybody justify that we're allowed to destroy the learning of others For the other kids that are just, and if you go above you, right, as a teacher, and you try to get an explanation or justification, you just get word salad. People go into politician mode. To ensure equitable outcomes, we believe that to foster a positive learning environment, we must ensure the manifestation of the individual through social emotional learning, to embrace diversity, and to shun a fixed mindset. So as you can see, you should now leave me alone and never ask me this question ever again.
There we go. So that's right on point.
Again.
That the glasses and everything, yeah, that's right on point. So yeah, shout out to him. I agree. The classroom should not be disrupted. The class should not be disrupted by one or two kids. It just shouldn't be happening. Get them out, because again, you got 28 kids, 26 are perfectly behaved. They're trying to get this work done. They're trying to learn. They're there to learn. They're there to be productive. Them two kids got to go. I don't care if they both black, both white, both Hispanic, if they got multicolors, if they race mixed. I don't care what they are. They can identify a puff of train smoke. They can identify as Barney the dinosaur. Get them out of the class. Period. And if they keep acting the fool, expel them from school. And it's kind of sad that it has to happen, but you can't do anything else, because when you have disruptive kids, the issue is always the parents. Always, because that will be where it comes from. That will be where their behavior emanates from. However the parents are, however their home life is, you'll see that in the classroom. If they have a chaotic, disruptive lifestyle at home, they're going to do that exact same behavior in the class. And the class, as a result, will be disrupted. So they got to go. Special ed, alternative school, something, rather than being in class with regular kids. Now, here's the issue with arguing some people. This is what I was talking about earlier. When you're talking to some people, it's just not really matching. Like, what you're saying to them does not register. They don't understand. They don't get it. You're trying to squabble with them about a particular thing, and they don't get you at all. They don't understand. Let's watch.
You can tell someone's low IQ if you give them an example to try to prove a point, and they just think you're talking about the example. Like, if you're talking about morality and you go like, hey, why do you think that's wrong? And they go, well, that harmed another person. And you go, okay, well, harm isn't always bad, right? Because, like, if somebody broke into my house and I shot them in the leg to defend my family, I would be harming them, but you wouldn't call that wrong. And then they just go like, yeah, but what does burglary have to do with it? Just give up the conversation. Right, because you're giving an example to point out the flaw in the logic, but they can't see the logical structure. So they just hear like a random non sequitur. Because for some people, there is an abstract barrier, like their head clunks against the intellectual ceiling, right? Like women with the presidency. Sometimes they're just never going to break through, you know? It's difficult enough trying to argue the substance, but then you have to explain to them how arguing works. It's like, and then other morons will think they're winning the argument because they have no idea how arguing actually works either. And so you're like playing chess with somebody at the same time as teaching them how to play while they just swat pieces randomly. And the whole crowd is like, bro, they're crushing it right now. And you're like, what is the point of this? So don't even bother engaging with non-Apple rotators. There's no point.
Right on, right on. Now look, I'm gonna add a few things here because there's more to it. Now, what he said in the beginning about harm, you could harm someone, but that might not be wrong. Now, I would say if you got a brick in your house, go ahead and ain't no leg shot happening. I'm gonna aim straight center mass, and I'm a continue until the threat is over with. If you survive, then God was on your side. If you don't, well, hey, man, God said come back home right now, and I had to send you. I'm so sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Side note. But beyond that, his message is correct. When you're trying to argue with someone or have a conversation with them, and you're giving them an example, and rather than looking at the example for what it is and how it relates to the original topic, they want to divert. They want to do the weave into something else. Oh, what about burglary? It's like you're missing the entire point. You're missing it. But rather than squabbling, rather than going back and forth, it's like, you know what? You got it. You got it. It's okay, because I know that I'm starting at a lower level with you. I am up here, you're down here, we're not on the same page. So the majority of this conversation will be me trying to uplift the person from here to where I am to even be able to talk. And if they're not interested, which they often are not, usually, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it be. So that was right on point. Hey, be careful about who you argue with, who you talk to, because sometimes they're just not worth your energy. And I believe that to be 100% the truth. But yeah, shout out to him. Very good example there, sir. Very good example. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, now, the SAVE Act. Now, I've done a video on that. Well, I did a short video on that. Basically, the SAVE Act, kicking around Congress right now. I think it passed the House. It has to go to the Senate, and then President Trump signed off on it, and it's good. It might be kind of hard because you need 60 votes in the Senate to make this pass, but it should pass. And long story short, the SAVE Act is about election integrity, requires voter identification nationwide, and it requires you to prove your citizenship. You register to vote. So you go to the DMV, you're trying to become a new voter, whether you're changing registration, you're a very first time voter, it's your first registration, whatever it is, you got to be able to prove that you are a U.S. citizen. So that'd be your birth certificate or passport. Now, some say this is disenfranchise women because they get married and their name changes. So their name will be different on their license. It'd be different on registration than its birth certificate. It's a change. But obviously, all you got to do is produce marriage license. That's a really easy document to come across. You can pretty much Google that. It's not difficult to prove that you got married and changed your name. All right. Now, here's a quick video showing that process. And this woman right here said she had been disabled, homeless, and even during her homelessness, she still had the ability to prove who she was with her marriage license and birth certificate. Check it out.
Birth certificate, marriage license. Pass the SAVE Act, dummies. Birth certificate, marriage license. Pass the SAVE Act, dummies.
Why is that so hard to understand? Like this whole thing about, oh, they're black and they can't get it. And they're so poor they can't get it. It's a lie. It is a lie. I promise you. If you don't have these documentation, if you don't have these things, if you don't have identification, then how are you maneuvering about society at all? How are you really doing that? The left want to have voting as insecure as, I don't know, going to a flower shop and picking up flowers and just walking away. Like the flowers are outside the shop. You could just pick them up, put them in your car. That's how they want it to be. They want it to be very easy to steal. They want it to be very easy to cheat in an election. Okay? It's like having the flowers outside. You shouldn't take it, but it's easy. Anybody right there, you could just pull up with your truck, put them in the back, and drive off. And hey, by the way, I did not do that. Anybody want to try to put to? I didn't do that. Don't call the police on me. But they want it to be easy. They may not steal the flowers, but they want it to be easy so they can if they want to. That's the whole purpose behind being against the SAVE Act. All right. Now, I got some more here. Now, this dad has two sons, age 12 and 13, and somehow they have their identification. But full-grown people that can vote don't. Make it make sense.
So I get it. Chuck Schumer says it's Jim Crow 2.0. We have to present IDs to vote. But my 12 and 13-year-old son have IDs. So if you can't get one, maybe your ass just don't need to be voting. So I get it. Chuck Schumer says it's Jim Crow 2.0. We have to present IDs to vote. But my 12 and 13-year-old son have IDs. So if you can't get one, maybe your ass just don't need to be voting.
Exactly. It's like I've always had some kind of identification. I remember having a card. I remember back in the day we had the lunch card, the lunch ticket. Did you ever have a lunch ticket? So for you guys, maybe you're a different country or whatever, maybe you're a different age group. We had a lunch ticket. You had to have that on you to get your free or reduced lunch. Remember that? And what they would do when you go to the line with your lunch ticket, they punch a hole in it to say, okay, you got your lunch on Thursday. So you couldn't go back up and get another lunch because they punched a hole in it. You good for the day. So I knew at like 6 years old to not lose that lunch ticket. So if I'm able to have that line of reasoning at 6 years old in the hood area, whatever it is, getting free lunch, reduced lunch, tell me how adults don't have identification, and that's okay. And they got to be able to vote like that. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You had an activity card, Brandon. Oh, Brando Smythe had an activity card. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the lunch ticket right quick. Just right quick. The green lunch ticket. I don't know what it was where you were. We had the green lunch ticket, and we had to keep that on us. Yeah, it looked just like this. It looked just like this. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think it was more like this. Well, it don't matter. It don't really matter. I'm going to just put it up on the screen anyway. So it was like this, right? Got your name on it, and then, okay, good for 10 meals. So you see the numbers. What they would do, they would put a hole punch in one of the, so, okay, you punch that. At the end of your 10 days, you get a new ticket. Or it might be one that has more holes on it, so you could just put more in it. But yeah, we had to keep that on us. It's a straight paper. It probably wasn't even laminated. If you lose it, you're going to be hungry. 6 years old, having that in your pocket, having to keep it on you. So we know how to keep identification and important documents from a young age. It's not that difficult. Backup says you had white and laminated lunch cards. See, y'all were bougie. You had the white laminated lunch cards. You guys are fancy. Okay, you guys are fancy. Shay says you had books for lunch tickets. Interesting. Christopher says, ABL, did your school have actual McRib on the menu? I wish we had McRib. I mean, I think I might have had McRib at school 1 or 2 times, like in high school, toward the end. Right when I'm about to leave, the lunch got good, but the lunch should be good only on certain days. On Thursday or Friday, your pizza would be a little bit different. The pizza would be a tad bit different. And during the exams, I don't know what happened during the exams, during SOL. I guess the idea was to incentivize us to come to school, because on SOL days, that's a standardized test. On SOL days, you had vending machines out of nowhere. Normally on this hall, there was no vending machines. On the exam day, you got 2 or 3 vending machines. You got Papa John's pizza. Matter of fact, you had Pizza Hut pizza. Okay. And slices on paper plates. You had soda, candy, all of that on exam day. So that was best days to go to school, get some of that lunch. Hey, you can go to school and get you a nice, good meal and don't do no tests. But anyway, here is Barack Obama in 2012 gladly showing his identification to vote. Gladly. But now, 2026, I'm sure if you asked him, he'd be against voting with identification. I'm sure. But in 2012, it was no problem. Oh, okay, let's watch.
Oh, exactly right. Hold on. I got my driver's license. Here you go.
All right, and sorry for the RP to the headphone user. Sorry for that. But you see him right here.
Oh, exactly right. Hold on. I got my driver's license. Here you go.
So she still asked for the ID. We can see who that is, obviously. It's Barack Obama. And no, you got cameras, you got everybody around. You know who that is. Like, if Donald Trump came into your office right now, you would know it's him. It wouldn't be a big thing to say, okay, that's Trump. But still, it don't matter who you are. You could be Barack Obama, Donald Trump. I need that ID. And they gave it over. But now it's racist. Make it make sense. Let's keep going. Okay. And this is going to be a CNN clip about how the SAVE Act is racist, I suppose.
What?
Okay, let's check it out. Everybody got big eyes on CNN. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's why they don't put me on there, because my eyes ain't big enough. And, you know, you got a eye height requirement. But anyway, let's watch.
What voting rights is he taking away from black voters?
Oh, if we look at
the SAVE Act?
the SAVE Act, that's exactly what we're talking about. That is actually going to continue to disenfranchise overwhelmingly a lot of people of color. There are so many civil rights organizations that have run the data. If we look at the way that it is going to disenfranchise black voters, it's the same reason why Chuck Schumer called it Jim Crow 2.0.
So,
this is the same president. If we want to continue...
You haven't said how yet.
I am talking about it. It's the way that you're putting new poll taxes on this when you're making people have... That's what we can call them now. It's kind of an idiom, right? If you want to say that people have to prove that they are citizens, that they have to prove with a voter ID, the reality is you're layering what is a constitutional right for the American people and making it harder for people to vote in this country, and it's going to disenfranchise black voters.
Concern you that you're making all these claims? You've yet to lay out how it's hurting anyone, but 76% of black voters think we should show an ID to vote. 80% of Hispanic voters, 83% of the American people. Are you saying that black voters are too dumb to know what's good for them? I mean, it sounds pretty condescending.
There go Abby again, saving the day. I see you, Abby. You got to come and save the day, because you saw, made his point, and she can't get out of it. So you got to chime in and save the day. I see the game.
That's not three-quarters of black voters who want voter ID.
Just to be clear, the SAVE Act is not just about ideas. The SAVE Act.
All right, there we go. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. Let's keep going here. So we got a video from the White House, keeping cool while making America hot again. So they have officially stopped the whole auto start stop feature. Because let's talk about that for a minute. If you guys didn't know, if you've bought a new car recently, it came equipped with an auto start stop feature. You go to a red light, you're idle for a while, your car will cut off, or the engine will cut off. And once you get back in motion, foot off the brake, it'll restart. I hate the feature. I really hate the feature. I personally hate it. I have it in my truck, in my F-150. That's the only thing I don't like about my truck is the auto start feature. Now, I don't know how I can take it off permanently, but if I could, I would. I don't want to go and mess with the computer and brick my car. I don't want to do that, because if I do that, they're going to say, Mr. Logan, you mess with the computer without authorization, and it'll cost $10 million to fix. My next vehicle, my next truck, whenever I get one, it can't have that on there. But that was a government mandate. Did you know that? But now that mandate's been lifted. There we go. And then last one, it said leaving auto stop in the dust. All right. So there we go. And the context is that they're in the car and it's hot because when the engine cuts off, so will the AC, because that's gonna drive it. If you got an EV, it may not do that. I don't think an EV will have an auto start stop feature. And matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you guys, do EVs have auto start stop? I wouldn't see why they would. Because the whole point of an EV is that they're not carbon emitting. So why would they have an auto start stop feature? I don't really know. But yeah, if you got an internal combustion engine vehicle and you have the auto start stop feature, your AC and heat will cut off because that's going to be powered by your engine being on. All right. So yeah, I hate it personally. I right when I get in my car, my truck, the Mustang doesn't have it. Thank God. The Mustang is a 2020. So that's it has no auto start feature. I love it. It's like driving a big bullet, a big fist. I love it. And so is the F-150. The only thing is that auto stop, but it has a button right there to disable it. When I crank the car on, I push that button immediately, right away. Or when I get to a stop, when I go to my neighborhood exit, right there, before I come to a stop, I push the button to turn off the auto stop feature. I hate it. All right. Let me see. Taylor says rented a Tesla and spent half the time charging. Hey, that's the only thing. Well, one of the things about EVs, that the charging, the technology is not all the way there yet. It's not all the way there because the batteries are a little bit volatile, or a lot of bit volatile, and it take forever in the day to actually charge. It's just, it gets in the way. 45 minutes. Hey, if you're out driving on the open road and you get to have your battery depleted and you want to charge up, that'd be 45 minutes of your time. It might be a little bit cheaper, potentially, perhaps, but now you're spending more time. I could go to the gas station in my regular gas-powered vehicle and be at E and fill up it on the. Hey, I can be at E. I can put the pump in the actual truck, go in the store, buy some foods, a drink, come back, it's finished. I go about my business. A Tesla, forget about it. Hey, you got any good movies in your Tesla? You want to watch The Lion King? You want to watch Roots, the whole series, about 6 hours? Yeah, you need that. I'm exaggerating, but still, you know what I mean. Let's keep going here. Okay, let's see. Okay, Barack Obama.
Days ago,
Obama responded to the whole ape meme kerfuffle. This is from a podcast with Brian Tyler Cohen. And tomorrow I'm going to do a full reaction to the podcast, like clips of the podcast. I'll do a whole reaction. But let's watch this right quick.
Days ago, Donald Trump put a picture of your face on an ape's body. And so again, this is kind of, we've seen the de-evolution of the discourse. How do we come back from the place that we have fallen into?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling. It is true that it gets attention. It's true that it's a distraction. But as I'm traveling around the country, as you're traveling around the country, you meet people. They still believe in decency, courtesy, kindness, and there's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television. And what is true is that there doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost. But the reason I point out that I don't think the majority of the American people approve of this is because ultimately the answer is going to come from the American people. And we just saw this in Minnesota, in Minneapolis.
All right, there we go. So that's his reaction to the whole ape meme kerfuffle. Now, somebody said it in the comments, word salad. 2 words I got from that, mainly word salad. You're not really saying much of anything. The long pauses, I don't know. Obama, in my opinion, is not a very good speaker. His voice, I guess, is a good voice. And when you see him, he has like some style to him. Looks good in his suits and stuff like this, but speaking is not very good because you're not saying much and you are taking too much time in between your words. I talk fast. He's talking too slow. Okay. But you are a speaker traveling the country talking like that, not me. So that's the first thing. And beyond that, I think most people can understand that this was a mistake. It was not done intentionally. It was not like, if people can know the truth and see the real story, they would see that it was not the entire meme posted on True Social. It was a piece of it by mistake, and the actual video was about election interference. See, that issue right there was not touched at all on that clip. Election interference, the voter data being taken, that was not addressed at all. They're going to address that last little piece of the video, and that's it. But yeah, that is, again, Barack Obama on the Brian Tyler Cohen podcast talking about the clip. Hey, what do y'all think? Do y'all think word salad? That's what I got from that. I see where Kamala got it from. Kamala must be his mentee. It must be his mentee. It's like, all right, Kamala, we're going to say it like this. We're going to pause between each word, for 5 seconds. I was like, all right, man, that ain't it, bro. That is not it. Hey, TNT says you hope for him at one point, but I went out and drained. I had hope too. I too had hope for Barack Obama. 2008, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. We had a party at our office, 50 people in there. People were crying. It was crazy. I had hope. I'm 24 years old. I'm hopeful. I'm like, yeah, a black president, hope and change. By 2011, I was like, you know what? This ain't it. This is not what I was promised. This is not hope and change. I'm seeing things actually deteriorate because of this guy. I did not like it at all. Now, here's a surprising comment. Here he is taking the quick shot at Gavin Newsom about the homeless encampments. Okay, let's watch.
The same would be true, let's say, here in Los Angeles around the homeless issue. I think morally, ethically speaking, it is an atrocity that in a country this wealthy, we have people just on the streets. And we should have we should insist on policies that recognize their full humanity, people who are houseless, and be able to provide them the help and resources that they need.
Houseless. I hate that, because that right there, that's a very intentional thing he's doing, because we know that if a guy's on the street, no clothes on, smoking crack, whatever, he just outside is where he lives, he's homeless. But they say houseless to make it less, to make it a little bit easier to digest, a little less mean, I suppose. I guess calling someone homeless is too mean, but I digress.
But we should also recognize that the average person, doesn't want to have to navigate around a tent city in the middle of downtown. And that we're not going to be able to build a working majority and support for the resources that we need to help folks like that, whether it's drug treatment or temporary housing or what have you. We're not going to be able to generate support for it if we simply say, you know what, it's not their fault, and so they should be able to do whatever they want, because that's a losing political strategy.
All right, there we go. So again,
we should
more word salad, but really at the end of the day, the homeless situation, you could solve it a couple of different ways. Okay, it's what you could do. We're talking about California and the homeless issue. You, first of all, cannot allow the urban camping. You cannot allow them to just camp wherever they want to camp. You can't do that. You also cannot allow the panhandling, the begging, the camp, like all of that has to stop. Because when you allow it, they're going to do it. And as a matter of fact, they're going to be drawn from other parts of the country and other parts of the world to go to California just to do that, to be homeless, panhandling, on crack, on drugs in Southern California. Sun and fun. That's what they want to do. Okay. And also the drugs are a big issue. I would say the majority of those who are out there homeless in Los Angeles, in California in general, are on drugs. So you got to just reduce the flow of the drugs and stop acting like it's okay to smoke crack outside in front of kids daytime. You just can't do stuff like that. And then the main thing would be the homeless industrial complex. The homeless industrial complex. There's so much money to be made on these people. When you incentivize homelessness by monetizing it through the NGOs or whatever you want to call them, these companies that are part of homeless industrial complex, when you incentivize it, you're going to have more of it. Why would I try to solve homelessness when that's my bread and butter? I don't want to solve it. I want to manage it. Like with any kind of disease where you got a drug that's being administered, the drug does not cure it. The drug manages it. You don't want a cure if you're that drug maker. You want to keep managing it. That's what they do with California and the homeless industrial complex. So that's how you save it. That's what you do. That's how you go about it. All right. Now,
the other
Bad Bunny's halftime show. Here he is talking about that. Okay. Let's hear this take. I want to hear it. I've not heard it yet.
The other side does the mean angry,
demagoguery,
exclusive, us, them, divisive politics. That's their home court.
Yeah.
Our court is coming together. Our court is, look, a great example. Wasn't political. Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Well, it was, it resonated. It was smart because it wasn't preaching. It was showing. It was demonstrating and displaying. This is what a community is. And people who did not speak Spanish and have never been to Puerto Rico, they saw that elderly woman serving a drink and the kids dancing with their grandmas, and it was intergenerational, and it was a reminder of what Dr. King called the beloved community can look like, which is not perfect, and it's messy sometimes. And, I guarantee you not all those lyrics were probably politically correct. And if you translated them, and, they're, people are complicated. But there was a sense of, all right, there's room for everybody here.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is where we win.
Okay. I mean, well, we're solid because Bad Bunny's halftime show, okay, they showed some things. They showed some cultural identifiers of Puerto Rico. Okay, that's fantastic. Shout out to the Puerto Ricans. All right. Yeah, I identify as Boricua on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's totally fine. It's all good. But the show itself, I couldn't get nothing from it personally. If you guys enjoyed it, if he enjoyed it, which he didn't, but if you guys enjoyed it, it's totally fine. But I don't pick it no panty. I caught a couple words here and there from my Duolingo. Okay, I caught a couple words here and there, but beyond that, I didn't know what was going on. It wasn't a really good show, and even if I was a Spanish speaker, it probably wasn't going to be good anyway because I'm not hearing any singing. I don't like rappers rapping during the halftime show unless it's a song that I really, really know and it was really, 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 really good. Kendrick Lamar, also whack. I don't care to use black, so what? It don't matter. A good performance is not black or white. It's a good performance. I prefer singers, marching bands, neutral music, like Creed or something like that. I prefer that. I don't like what he did. And just having all the positive things shown ain't gonna make a difference for me. It will not make a difference. Now, I got one more clip from that particular interview. Okay, one more for that interview. Then I'll keep on moving. Well, I got two more. This is going to be about aliens. So Barack Obama says that aliens are real, but they're not where you think they are. Aliens are real, but they are not where you think they are. They're somewhere else. Check it out.
Couple questions here. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens? Couple questions.
Okay, so aliens. I don't think he knows anything about the aliens. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. He might be one of them. I don't know. I'm seeing some features that look kind of different, but whatever. Hey, man, that skin might pop right on off. What if one day he just came outside and said, you know what? I got to live my life free. Mask comes off and you see lizard underneath. But anyway, he probably doesn't know much about that. It might be a little bit above his pay grade, but maybe he does. You never know. He was the president after all for 8 years, so he couldn't know what's happening just by being in the room and hearing certain things. But what do y'all think? He says aliens are real. He believes in aliens, but he's saying they're not Area 51. There's not an underground bunker. So where are they? He says they're not there. So where are they? And there's a key in the way you communicate. He could have done this intentionally, or maybe it might have been a mistake. He says that aliens are not at this place, rather than there are no aliens at this place. It's different. Okay. Saying there are no aliens at this place could mean there's no aliens and they're not right there and nothing there. You think it's there and nothing there. When you say, I believe in aliens, but they're not right there, Next question is, okay, where are they? That was kind of a ball drop, Brian, but whatever. You got it. I would have said, okay, if they're not right there, then where are they? Because they're somewhere, right? Are they up under the continental shelf? Okay, is there some kind of inner earth going on? Are they out of space? Are they inside the water, not under the actual shelf, not under the crust? Like, what's going on? That's what I would ask. That'd be my question. And also, I would ask, okay, when we say aliens, what are we talking about exactly? Little green men, the Greys, the Nordics, the reptilians, like you, allegedly? Like, what are we saying? Let's get some more details on that. Go a little bit deeper. Now, here's where he repeated the whole hoax about them using a little boy as bait. Remember in Minneapolis, ICE agents were trying to arrest a guy, and he was in a driveway. I don't know if it was his driveway, but he was in a driveway in his vehicle. When they approached him, he takes off running. The ICE agents go to the vehicle, and they see little boy in the back of the seat left, abandoned by the so-called father who fled on foot. So the ICE agents had to stay with the boy until they could get the father, so-called father. They got the father, they got reunited, and then he gets deported, and he's given the opportunity to take the child with him or leave him with somebody that they trust. They tried to leave him with the mother. She refused. Everybody in that house where he was abandoned did not want to take him in. So the so-called father said, okay, he'll come back with me to Mexico or wherever he was from, Honduras, I believe, Nicaragua, somewhere like that. But then he was ordered to come back by a judge. But anyway, here's Obama parroting the lie that caused him to get brought back by the judge, because the judge believed it, talking about they used the boy as bait. Let's watch.
Federal agents, ICE agents, were being deployed without any clear guidelines, training, pulling people off, out of their homes, using 5-year-olds to try to
bait their parents.
Yeah. All the stuff that we saw. I don't want us to have a slash and burn strategy where we don't care about rule of law. We don't care about some of the guardrails around our democracy. We start lying and having no regard for the truth the way the other side seems to be comfortable with right now. Federal aid.
So you don't want to start lying, making stuff up, doing all these kind of things. You don't want to do that, but you just did it right here. You just did it right here. Barack Obama, I know you know more than anybody else what's really going on. You know what's happening. You saw what happened right there, and you're a smart guy. You're smart enough to understand what that was. You know better. And Obama, you were the deporter in chief. You were the big dog when it came to the deportations. Tom Homan is your man. You gave Tom Homan an award for his work over at ICE. But now it's fascist and they don't know what's going on and they're training, they're dumb. Nah. It's the same kind of guys you had under your administration that's out there right now doing the exact same thing they did under you. And really, you did a lot more of this than Trump could ever dream of. But hey, it's better to get on these podcasts and lie and then gaslight us that you don't lie. Oh, it's the other side. They're the liars, not me. I just lied right there about the little boy uses debate, but they're the liars. We're not the liars. All right, let's keep going here. Now, here is Hillary Clinton repeating what I just said about Barack Obama and her husband, Slick Willie, being the deporters in chief over Donald Trump. With one caveat. Let's watch, see what it is.
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term. So I think it's important to...
Now, Hillary, don't get on this stage and tell that lie. Don't do it to yourself, because there were plenty of people that died in ICE custody under Barack Obama and Slick Willie. There are plenty who died during the apprehension under you, and not you, under your husband and Barack Obama. So why tell that lie? In detention centers, Obama had the kids in cages. Remember that? The kids in cages? Yeah. Back in the day, I was doing videos like this, talking about Obama's deportations and kids in cages. I showed a picture of some kids in a so-called cage, a detention center. People said, oh, that's so horrible. How could Trump be so horrible? It's like, nah, that's from Obama's term. Well, it was different. Okay, now it changes now because the same cage you were railing against, I exposed that it was under Obama and not Trump, and it's different. It's not about the kids in cages. It's not about the method in which people are deported. It's not about any of that. It's about President Trump. It's about conservatives. It's about trying to derail our movement any way possible. Okay? So another liar, per usual. Hey, another liar, per usual. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling.
I want to be.
This is going to be Rosie Perez. I know Rosie Perez is. If you are a little young, you might not know who that is, but look her up. She's an actress. She was in a lot of Spike Lee movies back in the day. White Man Can't Jump. She was really good in that. From New York, Puerto Rican. Now, she's talking about Kamala. Like, she didn't have it. It wasn't quite all the way there during the 2024 campaign. That might be quite a bit of an understatement, but let's watch.
I want to be quite honest with you, and it's no disrespect to the former vice president. I never got a hold on what she was. I really didn't. I couldn't figure it out. I'm just being honest. You know, I think that her heart was in the right place. I think she really cared for the American people. But I think that, and what I was feeling on the ground and what I was feeling myself, is nobody was really sure as what she stood for and who she was as a person. Where I think that with the other two ladies, that was clearer. And I don't know why that was with Kamala. I really don't. Because she was exuding this joyfulness, this when we fight, we win kind of spirit, but yet something wasn't clicking. And I don't know what that was. There was something missing and I couldn't figure it out. And I usually can figure people out, you know? And I was just like, this isn't good. This isn't good. So I hope whoever is going to be our next candidate is clear. Is clear.
All right, there we go. So there is who I thought it was, Nicole Wallace. Hey, if I ever had a mortal enemy, it'd be Nicole Wallace. I mean, you're talking about, she makes my butt completely itch right now. It's terrible. But anyway, I'm sorry, that's a little bit too much information. But anyway, what she's missing, Rosie Perez, is any kind of qualification to be there. She shouldn't have been there at all. See, Michelle Obama would have been better because she understands how to talk, at least. Her politics, bad, awful, terrible. What they say, Rosie, basura, ain't that how you say it, Puerto Rican? It was bad. But she could still speak. Barack Obama, word salad, but it's still better than what Kamala would say. Kamala would get up there and say anything. You know, you ask Kamala, okay, Kamala, what is your plan when you get in the office about, you know, Iran, about the nuclear issue, the nuclear deal? What are you planning on doing? Well, you know, first of all, I want to say hello to my Dougie. Hey, and you know, we just have joy, and we're going to bring joy. And you know, water is shaped so beautifully, and the shape of water is like Kamala. What are we saying here? She would just say anything to answer your question. That's someone who is not qualified to be there. You're at a job, you got a lot of application. The job says, do you have any forklift experience? Yes, I do. You get there to the forklift, you don't know what's going on. You pushing buttons. You can't shift no gears. You knocking stuff over. Pallets all broken because you were not ready to be there. You were not qualified to be there. You had no idea what you were doing. That's Kamala Harris. Pretty much winging it. She was a sugar baby for the married man downtown Willie Brown in California, San Francisco. From that, she became attorney general, then senator. And she went all the way to the vice presidency. But the American people said, no, she will not become the president. No, she will not. That was probably the worst pick I've ever seen in my life for a candidate to run. Kamala Harris. She was terrible. She was awful. She was absolutely bad. But yeah, shout out to Rosa Perez. Okay, let's keep going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's look at what Bill Maher said about Bad Bunny. Speaking about Puerto Ricans and the halftime show and whatnot. Let's see Bill Maher's response or reaction to Bad Bunny.
Super Bowl halftime show where Kid Rock, who you had that dinner with, was doing his own show, and then Bad Bunny's doing his show. Which one did you watch, and what did you make of that cultural moment for America?
So funny. People were asking me the week before, which one are you going to watch? I said, I'm going to watch the real one, the regular one, like I do every year, and I'm going to honor it the same way by going to the bathroom.
Did you?
Of course, you have to go to the bathroom at some point. Yeah. But I watched it. I liked it. You know what? I didn't understand it, but like I said tonight in the show, I don't understand when Mick Jagger sings either. I don't understand any rock star. Nobody's really understandable. I didn't understand Kendrick Lamar very well either. I mean, that's okay. It's just a feeling. And, you know, I said to, you know, I don't think he'd mind if I said this, but I did text with Kid Rock about it. And because I wanted to watch his too, so I taped it. And, you know, I liked the song he sang. I said it was a good song. The content of it was not my cup of tea, but, you know, I think he writes a great song. I'm a big fan of his music. I said, but, you know, the whole thing, his whole show was very about Christian. It was a very big Christian. I said, wouldn't it have been a little more Christian to let Mr. Bunny have his moment?
No. That's not really how that works. You know, at a certain point, you could be Christian and competitive. You could be Christian and provide an alternative platform for people to enjoy something, you know? So no, that's not really how that works, Bill Maher. But yeah, thank you for your input, bro. I appreciate you for your input. Thank you. But yeah. Now to think about Kendrick Lamar, not Kendrick Lamar. I didn't like Kendrick Lamar's performance either, but think about the rockers that you may not totally understand. You still know the song a little bit. You've heard it before. It's not totally just unfamiliar territory. Unfamiliar song and the unfamiliar language. It's like, what's going on? With Mick Jagger, all these guys, you at least know the song and the music, the melody. You don't know it with Bad Bunny. Now, did you guys see RFK Jr. say he used to party real hard. RFK Jr. used to party real hard. Okay.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me. Right. Like if I don't. And I said, I'm not.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I think that a guy who would do something like that used to snort coke off a toilet seat. Yeah, if you do something like that, you didn't die, you're gonna be okay. You probably don't need a COVID vaccine. Now, me, I'm nowhere near as adventurous as he is. Okay, I don't smoke crack or coke or nothing. I am Mr. Rogers when it comes to stuff like that. But I'll tell you what I have done. You know, I have actually just gone outside, you know, rolled in the dirt, okay, got dirty as a kid, drank from the water hose, you know, do some stuff, eating sunflower seeds out of, you know, okay, give me some of your seeds from his hand. I don't know where the hand been. Give me some seeds. Okay. You high fiving, you dapping. You don't know what's going on with somebody's hands because you're from the bathroom and you doing that. So yeah, my point is I've dealt with germs and the environment and I'm not living in the bubble. So we're talking about any kind of germ, any kind of virus. I'm not worried about it because I've been exposed to viruses and germs before. Everybody been sick, had a cold, had the flu, whatever. It's okay. I'll be all right. It's not like I'm an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon somewhere, and then you got a guy who's sick, got all kind of stuff, measles, mumps, and then you go shake the hands of the tribe and interact with them. You're going to kill them off because they have no natural immunity to your diseases, to your ailments, because they've not been exposed to it, but I have. RFK Jr. most certainly has. So what's the point in getting the vaccination? You see? We'll be okay. That's right, Steve. Hey, drink from the hose. It's all good. Yeah, it'd be straight dirt on the. Hey, wipe that off, and you get you a nice little drink. For sure. And a water fountain. Hey, I've not used a water fountain in many years, but for a long time, I'm asking y'all this. When's the last time you've used a water fountain? I actually went to a public water fountain and drank from it. When have you done that last? My last time had to have been sometime during high school, I would suppose. And I crushed that. Hey, during like in between classes, I'm thirsty. Hey, I'm crushing the water fountain. Or you go to PE and you sweating and you straight to the water fountain. And it'd be 15 guys all playing basketball, sweaty. Nah, it'd be 40 guys playing basketball, sweaty, all in that same water fountain. But guess what? I ain't dead yet, so it's fine. 30 plus years ago for the water fountain, 15 years ago at the gym. Okay, at the gym. Yeah, that makes sense at the gym. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now, here is RFK Jr. again saying the average teenager today, hold on, make sure I get the right thing. The average male teenager today has less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Okay, let's watch.
Spiraling. A teenager today, an American teenager, has less testosterone than a 68-year-old man. Sperm counts are down 50%.
Wait,
girls are
an
hitting
American
puberty 6 years
teenager
early.
has less testosterone than a 60-year-old man?
That's right, because the testosterone levels have dropped 50% from historic levels. And, and that is a problem. And it's an existential problem. But that is only when we have obesity. That is off the charts.
Yeah.
Again, when my uncle was president, we had about 11% of kids had obesity. Today, 74% of Americans are obese or overweight. And, in Japan, it's 3%. So, and that's because they pay attention to what they're feeding kids in school.
Yeah, the Japanese are very skinny, except for the sumo wrestlers. Those people, not so skinny.
Spiraling.
But even the sumo guys are in good shape. The sumo guys are not just fat for no reason. These guys are in immaculate shape. I saw a video of some sumo guys going against NFL guys, and the sumo guys, you couldn't do nothing with them. Hey, put the sumo guys on the O-line. Hey, that D-line ain't going nowhere. That D-line ain't going nowhere. Hey, put Barry Sanders, prime Barry Sanders, behind some sumo guys. Man, he would get 1,000 yards a game. 1,000 yards a game behind them big behemoths, big, strong, man, please. So, yeah, shout out to Japan. Shout out to everybody that eats well. Okay. Shout out to everybody that eats well. Shout out to RFK for his initiative, the Maha Agenda. Right on. Okay, where we at here? Oh, this was crazy. This was crazy. Hey, so there's a call-in show, kind of like the way they do with C-SPAN, where people call in and they talk to the guy right in front. Let me show you just so you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so it's a guy right there. He's taking calls. Numbers right there below him. Don't call that, please. But he's taking calls. One guy called him talking about the violence that he's experienced. And then the host is like, hey, man, it's okay, man. You got stabbed 2 times. It happens. You'll be all right. Check it out.
Like you, are you really saying you'd be at less of a risk there than you would be in Tower Hamlets? On what basis?
Well, I've been stabbed twice in London. That's the basis. There you go.
It's a big city.
So,
sadly, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, like you, are you really saying you'd be at less of a risk there than you would be in Tower Hamlets? On what basis?
well, I've been stabbed twice in London. That's the basis. There you go.
It's a big city. Sadly, that happens sometimes.
Okay, yeah. I've been in big cities before. I've been to New York, LA, Chicago's next. Shout out to Chicago. I'm going to Chicago next. Shout out to Chicago. I've been to Miami. I've been in a lot of different cities all over the country. Not one time have I been stabbed. Okay, I've not been stabbed one time in the big city, anywhere that I've been. I've not been stabbed. I've not been shot. Nothing. That's not normal to get stabbed, not once, but twice in London. Okay, that's not really what it is. Imagine you're from the area, you live in the area, and that's going to be a constant threat of getting stabbed. Here he is talking about, it's a big city. Hey, you know, that's the thing. They kind of gaslight you. They say you're conservative and you're scared of cities. Nah, it's about you guys got a violence problem. To you guys, it's okay. It's okay if people just get stabbed up, shot up, or whatever. But to me, it's not okay. Fix your violence problem, then I'm going to come back and check it out. But beyond that, I'm good. It's not just normal, bro, to get stabbed up in a city. That's just not really, and if it is normal, you got a problem. You got a big problem if that's normal. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, only twice. Oh, yeah, only 2 times. Somebody said that in the comments. Chester, yeah, only twice, Chester. You know, not 4 or 5 times. So it ain't that bad, right? Stop crying. That's pretty much what I heard from the host. Okay, let's keep on going here. Now, if I'm to that same show, that Jeremy Vine show, I guess is what it is. Hey, do you think a child at 4 years old should transition from male to female, female to male, wherever it is? 4 years old. And you already know by the look right here what the answer is. Let's watch.
If I might just quickly ask, do you think a child as young as 4 has the capability to make an informed decision about their gender?
Yeah, I mean, gender's made up. Gender is a construct that we sort of abide by in the society that we live in. So if a child wants to refer to themselves with a pronoun of a different gender to the one that they were born with, I don't see that being an issue. That's, to me, similarly to trying out a different name, like a nickname from Alexandra going to Alex. Like, it's really not that big of a deal because these things are constantly changing. And, you know, a child might want to be referred to with pronouns of the sex that they were not assigned at birth. And that's not going to harm the child.
Well, yeah, okay, if it's made up, then you can't necessarily be one or the other.
Now, okay, let's go back. That's somebody said that's AI. That's not AI. That's just her background being blurred, probably on the webcam or something like that. Probably she don't want to show her house. Might be kind of dirty or whatever, or just she don't want to show the house. She's got the background blurred. But anyway, gender is a real thing. It is. It's a real thing. And let's just entertain this argument that it's just a made up thing. Okay, well, check it out. If I'm the parent, you're not going to bestow upon yourself a brand new nickname. If I named you Alice and you calling yourself Zarquavion, we're not doing that. Your name is Alice. Okay, you want to go by Allie? Okay, we'll negotiate on Allie. But it ain't going to be Zarquavion. It ain't going to be Walmartavius. It ain't going to be Barack Obama, Kamala. We're not calling you anything other than a thing that's close to your name. If you're going to use that whole, it's like changing your name or a nickname argument. Although it's not. It is not. But you see who's making the argument. I don't gotta, the proof is in the pudding. It's right there. It's right there. You already see what's going on. Okay, so I don't gotta say too much about that. There's a lot of material there, and that's what Trump said with Rand Paul. There's a lot of material there, but I ain't gonna say nothing. You already know what it is. All right, but let's keep on going here. Now, New York. New Yorkers, please tell me, because I'm getting mixed comments. I'm getting mixed reviews. No sound for this video, but this is the financial district in New York City. Again, the financial district. New Yorkers, please tell me as I play it. Is this normal? Do you just go outside all the time and the trash is like that? Is that what you got to deal with? I'm just trying to understand because, again, I'm no New Yorker. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I just like trash like that on the ground piled up for weeks. Maybe y'all like to attract the rats to your actual place because a little bit of common sense says if you have all the trash right here in front of this building, they're going to go in the building next. You know, especially if it's cold. If it's cold outside, what they're going to do, they're going to go eat that trash and then go inside for a little R&R. That's what's going to happen. So y'all tell me, is that normal or what? Because if it is, I mean, that's not very attractive. That's not very appealing to anybody. Okay, that's a Mom Donnie special. Okay, way more trash, looking like LA. Somebody said, hey, MVP says, Mom, don't pick up the trash. Great win. Fantastic. Rather than Mom Donnie, Mom, don't pick up no trash. I like that. I'm going to use that. Okay. So this young lady says, New York City right now, it sucks and it's disgusting. Let's watch. Let's get some sound.
There's no way that people are actually visiting New York City or people live in New York City and they enjoy living here. I have lived in New York City my entire life. I have never seen something like this. Ever. I've lived here 26 years. I'm currently driving through Canal Street. It literally looks like I just entered a third world country. Streets are absolutely disgusting. There's garbage everywhere. There's like cops just swarming the streets for no reason because they're not even doing anything. It literally looks like a cesspool full of people that are like imported here and placed here to ruin the city. It's like so disgusting. And then on top of that, you guys went and voted for an absolute imbecile to run the city who is going to do nothing except make the city worse. So enjoy New York City. This is definitely not the Big Apple anymore. I don't know what this is. Honestly, there's no way that people are...
There you go. So to everybody in New York, do you agree? Do you disagree? Y'all let me know. Because again, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm ignorant. I don't know nothing. But I'm seeing quite a few of these videos from New Yorkers saying, hey, I've been here all my life. This is disgusting. I've never seen it so bad. Now, maybe it's been bad like this before. If it's bad right now. So let's say it's my 30 years old, right? And this is their very first time seeing it this bad. Maybe before they were born, it was bad, like in the 70s and 80s, going back then. Now, if you're going back to that time, New York was not the way that we know and love it. It was not the way that it is known and loved by the world. It was pretty bad back in the 70s. And then here comes Giuliani, clean it right on up. Even before then, I don't know who was before Giuliani, but they had to clean it up because it was bad. Cities, towns, states can get bad. Leadership, new people, whatever, it can get bad. It can be fixed as well, but Mom Donnie might not be the proper direction to go. Okay, this is now we're going to Minnesota. Speaking about bad governance, this is Minnesota. This is the Lieutenant Governor Flanagan giving you her tribal name. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on the screen. Can you pronounce that? I see Ojibwe. That's a tribe, I guess. But try to pronounce that right there. Hey, say that name on the screen 5 times fast. See what you come up with. Let's watch.
So my Ojibwe name is Gigi Weweda Mokwe, which means speaks in a loud and clear voice woman. And I am so grateful for my community. And, you know, I am a member of the White Earth Nation, which is the largest tribe in Minnesota. So my Ojibwe.
Oh, so she's native? Flanagan, she's native? That's interesting. That's an interesting native name, Flanagan. But anyway, so yeah, basically it said loud woman. I didn't call you that. They called you that, but it's fine. And shout out to the glasses. I'll say one thing positive here, okay? Shout out to the glasses. Look just like mine. It might be the exact same pair, but you get the little cheetah print on the bottom. That's nice. That's a nice little touch. So shout out to her. All right. But I cannot pronounce that. All I see is Gizmodo right there. That's all I see. Go Gadget, Gizmodo, Gadget. That's all I see. It's too much for me. So I commend her for her glasses and for being able to pronounce that unpronounceable name. Shout out to her. Okay. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. I want to show one more with Jordan Peterson and Destiny.
I'm talking about
climate change. Just briefly. Destiny, this guy, man. Man.
I'm talking about the record temperatures that have been declared for like the past 5 years that have also increased with the concentration of parts per million of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. I think it's pretty undeniable at this point that there is an impact on climate across the planet.
I think that's highly deniable. We have no idea what the impact is from. We don't know where the carbon dioxide is from. We can't measure the warming of the oceans. We have terrible temperature records going back 100 years. This isn't data. This is guess. And there's something weird underneath it. There's something weird that isn't oriented well towards human beings underneath it. It has this guise of compassion. Oh, we're going to save the poor in the future. It's like, that's what the bloody communists said. And they killed a lot of people doing it. And we're walking down that same road now with this insistence that, you know, we're so compassionate that we care about the poor 100 years from now. And if we have to wipe out several 100 million of them now, well, that's a small price to pay for the future utopia. And we've heard that sort of thing before. And the alternative to that is to stop having global level elites plot out a utopian future. And that's exactly what's happening now with organizations like the WEF. And if this wasn't immediately impacting the poor in a devastating manner, I wouldn't care about it that much, but it is. You know, I watched over the course of the last 5 years, the estimates of the number of people who were in serious danger of food privation rise from about 100 million to about 350 million.
I'm going to pause right there, but what he's saying right here is right on point. A guy like Destiny is talking about man-made climate change, and you got to do things to be able to put a stop to all this, that, and the third, which is not really a real thing. And Jordan Peterson is saying, look, all these things that don't work, all they're going to do is just increase food insecurity for the most vulnerable people. You're not helping anyone other than people that get money from the climate change scam. You're Greta Thunberg and Al Gore. You're getting Al Gore another jet. You're getting Greta Thunberg another jet. You're not actually helping those who actually need it, the poorest and most vulnerable of us. And somebody said I should debate Destiny. I debated him many years ago. I debated him in 2018. I'll never forget it. I was in the other house. And quick story about that debate. And a lot of y'all still remember that debate. People come up to me to this day talking about that debate. To this day, 2026. Somebody said something about a debate recently. Because they said something about the Klan and the Santa Claus and all of that type of stuff. They still bring it up to this day. That was 2008 years ago, 2018. But anyway, I was getting ready to go somewhere. At the time I was with my ex-wife. We get ready to go out. And I had a little bit of time before we had to leave. So people were telling me, hey, man, get in the stream with him and debate him. So, okay, I got about 45 minutes to an hour. Let me just go do that, and then I'm going to leave. And that's how it happened. Just kind of randomly, I popped in the stream, then we had a debate. I was not prepared. I did not have any notes. I just was talking. Now, debates, I don't know. I don't really like having debates because people like to have all kind of weird rules. It's like going to play Uno and everybody got ways they play Uno that's different than what you play. It's like, hold on, how you doing that? So, I don't know. I guess it could be cool, but I prefer to have a regular podcast conversation. And then if a topic comes up that needs to be discussed or debated, we'll talk about that. I'd rather have like a roundtable discussion about certain issues. Throw an issue out there, not a prepared thing. Because sometimes during a debate, you'll have questions that are prepared beforehand. And you know what the question is going to be. You get ready for it. I don't like stuff like that. Let's just talk randomly. Let's just talk, with random questions. Maybe even do a live stream where we're getting questions from the audience. We can answer that way. So you can't have an unfair advantage by being able to study or prepare for a particular question. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. And that'd be how it goes. Okay. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you are hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But yeah, a podcast is what I want to do. Put me on a podcast or something like that with these guys. And the thing about it is, any debate, any podcast or whatever, I want to do it in person. When you are with somebody in person, the energy is always different. The energy that you get on a phone call, like the first debate was between me and Destiny, because he was on this computer and I had called in on my phone, or it was something like that. I was not on camera. I think it was on my phone. But anyway, that energy is different than what you would have in an in-person discussion, because you're able to see me and I'm able to see you. And whatever kind of weaknesses you got on your sleeve, on your face, anything I can see about you, you gonna know that I see it. Anything about me, you see it. It makes us even. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got super chats on deck. Then I'm gonna get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I'll get to the calls in just a minute. Let me get to the super chats first. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says, actually, Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth, 1 to 4. That's right. So is Virginia. Shout out to you. Thank you for the comment. Michael Guest also says, for instance, Commonwealth of Virginia, of course, Massachusetts, Commonwealth of Kentucky, right on. Thank you to Boycott China. Great name, by the way. Boycott China says, watch them first. Hit that thumb up. Salute ABL. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling. Thank you to Boycott China, who says, Mom Domini's mommy and Epsteiny. I ain't going to read the last part of that, but I appreciate your comment. Thank you to Mauricio, who says, who are the racists again? Great question. I'd love to know because I can't tell. I can't tell. It looks like it's the left, but I can't tell. Thank you to Michael Guest, who said you have to show ID at Walgreens to buy tobacco and alcohol products. How is having to show ID racist? It's not. But of course, they'll make up lies to fit their narrative, per usual. Thank you to Ryan, who says my 2010 hybrid Camry had auto start stop. Really? It did? That's crazy. In 2010, the AC would still run while stopped, and I think it was running from the hybrid battery. It was. The battery died at 160,000 miles and was $6,000 to replace. Now I have a 4Runner. Well, that's definitely an upgrade. Shout out to the 4Runner. Do you have one of the newer 4Runners, or you got like the 2016 4Runner, or what was that? The 2009, 2010 era? What do you have for a 4Runner? That's a great car, by the way. Thank you to Tyrant General, who says, now I do like the auto hold feature for braking. That's something else. Yeah, that's a cool little feature. Thank you to No Nonsense for Life Rocky Cage, who says, what's up, ABL? Sorry it took so long to super chat. It's not my fault. Blame the white man. Haha, I've been busy bad chasing. Keep up the good work. At this point, you have to take what Obama says with a grain of salt. Salute, fam. Hey, salute to you as well, bro. Thank you for the super chat. I most certainly appreciate you. All right, I got time for the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker right there below me, 706-406-3287. It's also in the description box below the video. And if you're watching on the restream, you're watching live, thank you for being here. You know I could not do the show without you. Let's get to this call. Let's get to unknown caller.
Hey, good evening, ABL. Happy Valentine's Day.
Same to you, man.
Hey, man. So, wow, the SAVE Act passed the House last night, and so now it has to go to the Senate. Do you know when it goes to the Senate?
I'm not sure when it goes to the Senate.
Yeah. So somebody was saying something today about us, like, if you're born here, you still have to, like, prove that you're an American citizen and re-register to vote. Do you think that's going to be the case?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, that's good. I'm all about it. It's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience. I can get my birth certificate. I just don't know how to do it. But, wow.
Or a passport. Or a passport.
Go ahead.
Or a passport.
A passport? Yeah, I've got to renew mine anyway. It expired 3 or 4 years ago. So, yeah, it's a good time to do it anyway. It's a good reason to do it. So, wow. I just can't wait for this to go through. This is going to save the election. I think we're going to win the midterms. A lot of the political pundits are saying we're going to lose. I'm like, I just think that's negative with all the deportations, everything that's good that's going on, and the stock market's hit 50,000 for the first time, at least 3 times in the past 3 weeks or more. I mean, what do you think?
I think they're trying to be negative to try and discourage us from going out there and voting, because I think that people are liking the direction of the country. So I think we'll do good in the midterms.
Yeah, 83% of America supports the voter ID thing.
Yes.
It should be a lot higher than that. It should be 98%, but, well, we have a lot of morons in this country. They're called Democrats. That's another story. Hey, man, so since it's Valentine's Day, I have a Valentine for you. I want to hook you up with this very sexy lady.
Okay, who we got?
Okay, well, you're going to like her. She's a lady of color. She's a younger lady. She's 36. And she works for a news station, well, so-called news station, and she likes to say, Scott, 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 Scott. Sound familiar?
It does sound very familiar.
It's your girlfriend, Abby Phillip.
Well, she's married,
You
so that
for her
might.
twice tonight, sir. I think you have a crush on her. Just be honest.
Nah, she married, so I don't do those games at all.
No, but you still like her though.
Nah, she all right. She cool.
You want to teach her what making America great is all about, huh?
I don't want to touch her with a 10-foot pole. I promise you that.
I'm just kidding you, man. I know. I really don't like her. She gets on my nerves, but I agree. I can't stand her, and I really hate Nicole Wallace too.
Same.
She is so negative. In some ways, Nicole Wallace is so negative and bitchy. But I'll tell you, the one I really can't stand is that Bash lady. What's her name?
Dana Bash?
Yes, I want to bash her face in. She never smiles. She's always negative about everything, and anytime somebody brings up something positive Trump's doing, she just becomes even more miserable. I mean, she's just a rotten, miserable bitch. I mean, sorry not to curse, but I just have to call it like it is because, I have to be honest, But anyway, that's all I had to say tonight, man. You have a great night, and I'm still Ultra Mega. Make America great again, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man. Let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right. It's a combination of Hamion Lay and Anton LaVey. How's it going, Anthony?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, fantastic. I've been watching the show. And the whole ID with voting, I just don't get it. Why they're saying it's bigoted or racist, it doesn't make any sense. Everybody has to have their ID just for alcohol and cigarettes and weed. So it doesn't make no sense.
It makes no sense, but it makes sense when you think that they're trying to do it just to be able to have the election go in their direction. They wouldn't be able to cheat if they need to.
Oh, definitely, especially having open borders, and that caused issues with human trafficking, and I'm highly against that, especially my last phone call kind of like saying, our whole government is doing that, which is ridiculous off of reading that stuff. But yeah, I was watching your show and stuff like that, and I've been reading more on the emails of the Epstein emails, and to forewarn you guys, it gets really dark, like to the point of the Life Alert photos that you would see from the yearbook pictures. That guy, he got outed from the Epstein list, and he resigned.
Life Touch?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's disgusting looking through this that were used as a menu by billionaire pedophiles for the last 40 years, and I'm disgusted with it. And it's not just the one administration, which I think is ridiculous how liberals are only focused on one person on the Epstein list instead of all the rest, like Obama. Why is nobody talking about Obama on the list as often?
Is he in there?
Yeah, he's on there. The J-mail, I've been looking through it. It's mentioning a lot of these code words with Obama and a lot of people. Like it's like I said, when it's a lot of people, it's a lot of people. The pro-Trump, the anti-Trump, it's literally everybody. I warned people about the John Podesta emails, and that's one of the main reason why I voted for Trump, because of the John Podesta emails, the code words, the cheese pizza quotes and stuff like that. And it's like I said, it's disturbing. So anybody listen to me right now, it doesn't matter about politics. Look through the emails, and you can have a skeptical mind, and I completely understand. Because CNN has been lying to the American public forever. It's weird that you can just simply Google it up, and CNN completely lies about it back in 2016. And I voted for Trump because it's like I got tired of the lies. And then when Pam Bondi, bear with me, was saying that stuff, it's like 2016 all over again with Hillary. And I just kind of rolled my eyes to that. So, hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call, ABL. Much love to you. And also, you're right about the vaccine. We should have never took it.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, because that pervert literally put his DNA in every one of those vaccines.
Okay, I didn't hear that part, but yeah, I mean, if
I read through it. He's sick. Like we're all victims now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much for taking my phone call. Much appreciated, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 860. You're on the line. How much speaker to?
Anthony, how you doing, my brother from another mother? F&A Ranger Xbox.
All right, man. It's good. What's going on?
Did you notice how fast Senator Thune changed his mind on that bill?
I'm not familiar.
Well, seems somebody called his office and said, we don't have to wait to replace you or primary you. We can call for a national convention of the Republican Party this summer before the primaries, and we could just kick you rhinos right out of the party, and you won't be able to run as a Republican no matter how much campaign money you collected for your retirement. What do you think about that, brother?
Hey, that's how you got to do it sometimes.
Hey, if they want to thwart the will of the people one way, the Constitution and the American way gave us an alternate route. We just got to take the snow route because they all got white hair. I think Blumenthal spends more on hair dye than I do my mortgage payment. He's 80 years old.
I believe it.
Anyway, brother, AOC, oh my God. She's improving stupidity with every comment she makes.
Yes, for sure.
That's about all I got for you, brother. I don't disagree with you, so I don't have to argue with it. You have a good night. Great show. God bless.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Somebody was asking me, did I talk about the trans shooter? I did that last stream, and there's a video out about that from that stream on my channel. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and do that. But I did talk about that on the last stream. The trans shooter who shot up the school in Canada and British Columbia. Yeah, I did speak on that. So, hey, that whole trans shooter thing, that's become a pattern. That's like just what it is now. Whenever I see a school, like specifically a school getting shot up, I already know who did it. You know pretty much who does what. You hear certain crimes that happen, and you know the demographic who did it before they reveal it. Okay, I'll give you a scenario. Birthday party. Los Angeles birthday party. Not even LA. Okay, we can just say LA. LA birthday party. 8 teenagers shot. You pretty much know what's going on with that. Who did that? The victims will be named some variation of Walmartavius. Maybe you have some Juans, some Pedros, some fools, some homies, some Nesses, but mostly it's going to be Walmartavius in them at a birthday party getting shot up. But a school getting shot up? 732, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Rich.
All righty, what's happening?
What's up, my man? I've been listening to you for like almost 10 years now. First time I ever called in. You do God's work, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for the long time support. Couldn't do it without you.
Oh man, you're one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites. The reason I said you do God's work, you give it real, man. You give the truth.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I'm up here in New Jersey. I'm not one of them ones that voted blue. I promise.
Well, I appreciate that.
All I got to say is that if this ring of whatever the hell they're doing with the kids is going on and it's going to collapse the world, maybe it's time we collapse the world then, huh?
Well, hey, we got to see what that really means. Like, how are we going to continue on after that? We got to see what's really going on.
No doubt. I've been trying to wake people up to that for the longest time, man. I can remember when Julian Assange was doing the first WikiLeaks dumps, reading about some crazy stuff in the Podesta emails and stuff. And people were like, "Oh man, you need some help." Well, guess them tables will turn, huh?
I guess so.
But yeah, that was all, man. You keep doing what you do, man. You're great.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good night, brother.
Wow, that's crazy to hear. 10 years. That's crazy. Time is so funny. Time has passed quickly, but it also passed very slowly because think about where I was 10 years ago, like February the 14th, 2016. Oh my goodness. I was in a whole different space in my life, everything was different. My whole life was different in 2016. So, hey man, thank y'all. Shout out to my man who just called in, but shout out to all you guys who are being here for as long as you have, whether you are a newcomer, you've been there for the whole 10 years or 11 years, because I started in 2015. So however long you've been here, I appreciate you, man. I know I couldn't do it without you. And shout out to all the new people coming in. I like that I'm still relevant to a certain extent, because like I said before, some of these old channels, hey man, they've been around for a long time and then it just come to fall off. I think the person who's been around for the longest is probably Tim Pool. Tim Pool been around since like 2012. I used to watch Tim Pool a little bit. I remember when he first came out, he was like real babyface doing like street interviews. I think he was on Vice back in the day. He's been around for a long time, way longer than me. And he's still doing his thing. So shout out to Tim Pool. Tim Pool, one of the guys I respect the most on this platform out of everybody. I don't always agree with everything, but he's a highly respected person in what I do. So shout out to you guys. Charlie says, did I see the Candace and Hot Twins interview? I saw that. I saw some of that, but I couldn't get jiggy with it because it was virtual. I don't like those. And she was, it almost looked fake. It almost looked fake because she was like behind the computer. It's like, why you gotta be right there? Why you can't just talk? Like, why would you be behind your computer doing an interview? Why you don't just go to like a place in your studio where it's designed for like a hit, like a quick hit? Like, it's like, excuse me. If she was gonna go on Fox News, she wouldn't have that little setup right there. I don't think she would. She'd be in the box. Like, you know how it'd be. Just like this. Green screen behind you. You right in the camera right here. Like the way I'm doing this video right now, I'm in this upstairs room. I got a monitor here, microphone, mixer, keyboard, mouse, okay? All of that is like right here. But directly ahead is my camera. This is a Sony Alpha 6400. This is a DSLR camera, mirrorless, that's hooked up to my computer. So if I was Candace getting on a virtual show, beaming in my appearance somewhere else, I would just have this. And then I would do this. Watch this. Then I would do that. You see? So you can put whatever background you want. And it wouldn't be so much distractions and there wouldn't be a computer in front of me. It'd be a mic and that's it. That's the way it should work. So it looked like it was almost fake. I was like, what is this? So I couldn't really get into it to watch it. I did see some clips, but the way that it was done with her behind the computer, I just couldn't do nothing with it. But like I said, I like in-person. I said that earlier. I like in-person podcasts. If I'm gonna do a debate or anything, I want to be in person. Now, if you got like a smaller podcast and whatever, and you can't, okay, we could do virtual, but I prefer to be in person. All right. Was Crowder on YouTube in 06? Oh, shout out to Crowder. Crowder been around for a long time too. Shout out to him. All right. Yes, there's a live mouse, Chris. Hey, there's a live mouse. This right here, it's living, it's breathing, and I keep it tamed. I got a pet mouse right here. You see, I keep my pet mouse tamed, and I got it to where I can use it to manipulate the computer. The mouse can telepathically control my computer. So this is a live mouse right here. To my man who asked the question, yes, that's what's going on. Okay, so Charlie says she's in Tennessee apparently for her podcast and had the same background. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's easy. I'm in Tennessee too. She's like right down the way. She's like 2 hours away in Nashville, I suppose. All you got to do, again, just have a space where there's no stuff in front of you. And really, you got a microphone kind of below you. It could just be you could just be like in the box. But again, I prefer in-person stuff. I don't like the virtual thing. Yeah, she got to go to Vegas. She got to go to Vegas and just do it there. Yeah. Like, I went to Vegas with the Hot Twins, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. I went to Atlanta, which is right down the street, for the other podcast I just did, Earn Your 24. Yeah. And I got to go somewhere else for another podcast I got coming up. And once I go to this place, there's a bunch of more guys I got to connect with in that area. I ain't going to tell you where it is. It's going to be a surprise when it come out. All right. That's right, NKM. Hey, the mouse gets fed moon cheese. This mouse right here, the way I feed it, it gets cheese from the moon. So I go up to the moon every other Tuesday. Okay, before my Instagram stream, I go to the moon right quick. Me and Elon take a little shuttle to the moon, and I go with a pickaxe and I pick the actual surface of the moon to get the cheese. And I come back down and I feed the mouse the moon cheese. Okay, he don't take that much. He take like a block about that big to feed him, you know. But you got to get it fresh from the moon surface, so you got to pick it every time. You can't just keep it in the fridge. It's gonna go bad right quick. I got to come down immediately, get some of my mouse, and it's good for a week. And I go back the next Tuesday. That's kind of how it works. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Yes, Hot Swings podcast is wild. And those are my guys right there. Those are my Virginia brothers. They're from Martinsville, which is like in the western part of Virginia. I went through there one time leaving Roanoke, where Dad and them were living at for a long time. I came through there going back to Virginia Beach, Norfolk. That's like a Route 58. Yeah, very well-known route way down south in Virginia. All right, Blonde Mom says, hey, ABL, haven't commented for a while, but I'm still a regular watcher, and I don't remember an exact year I started watching you, but I know it was during Trump's first term, so I'm 10 years or close to. Hey, shout out to you, Blonde Mom. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Hey, I know I couldn't do any of this show without y'all, so I appreciate y'all for sure. All right. Let me see. Yeah, you guys named a lot of my friends. B. Tatum, David Harris Jr., Will Johnson, all my friends. Minor Jamal, all good guys. 215 if you don't learn who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, Brian Logan, how's it going?
It's all good, boss. What's happening?
Hi, yes. I know this story is old. It was like a few weeks ago now, but at this point, I remember you dropped that video that Don Lemon should be arrested, and then when I seen the headline that he got arrested, I knew. How did you feel when he got arrested? I said, what?
I said about time. I felt vindicated because what he did was inexcusable. You can't do that. And I know for sure, like I said before he got arrested, I know he did not know that was illegal. I know that for sure because he's not a smart person. He was just doing things that he thought he could get away with. I don't know. He's just retarded. But I'm glad he was arrested because you didn't know what you were doing, but that's no excuse. You can't just say, oh, I didn't know no better. Well, you know now.
Yeah, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
There you go.
And you know, it's funny. I hear a lot of people from the conservative movement on the right talking about the Epstein files and whatnot, and constantly attacking Trump over the Epstein files and bashing Trump over the Epstein files. But it's like, for people like me and you that voted for Trump, we didn't vote for those. We didn't vote for the Epstein files. That's not why we voted for Trump. We got our own reasons why we voted for Donald Trump.
That's right, exactly. And the Epstein files, it's like a distraction because people can say that Trump is in there, but what did he actually do? And when that question gets asked, they start to stutter. It's like, nah, just tell me. You can't just say someone's in the Epstein files without telling me what they did, because you could be there and be totally innocent, like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said he was in there because he did not want to go, or he did not want to interview Epstein. Somebody reached out to him and said, hey, do you want to interview Jeffrey Epstein? He said no. But because he was asked about Epstein and there was communication there, he's in the files, you see?
Yeah. And you know, it's funny, they're petitioning to release the files, and come to find out that here's one thing you're not going to hear on the news a lot is that the victim's personal information, a lot of victims' personal information was released to the public, and a lot of material that shouldn't have been released to the public had been released. They failed to redact it. So that's another thing. That's one reason why I said they shouldn't release the Epstein files, because it was like for that particular reason. And a lot of people kept telling me they can redact that stuff and leave that information out. But come to find out, they didn't. And most of the victim's personal information is out there. Did you hear about that happening?
Yeah, I heard about that. But see, that's part of the reason why they didn't want to release it, because now you just damaging people for no good reason other than people's bloodthirst.
Exactly. And now it's just like people are just, now you open yourself up to lawsuits.
Right.
And you know, it's funny, a lot of people who voted for Trump, who wants the files to be released, they say, so we can see, we want to see who was there. It's like these people just want to spread conspiracy theories. And it's like you said, I hear a lot of people, especially they said, tear this country up, let it be bloodthirsty and all that. He needs to release the Epstein files. But it's like, I feel like the most, hear me out, I'm not going to take up most of your time. Most of the people that say that are people who are like, who aren't struggling. They're not worried about finances and all that stuff. They don't have to worry about like paying rent. They're living financially well. Those are the only people who care about the Epstein files like that. You get what I'm saying?
I do 100%.
Yeah, because the rest of us, we're more focused on the economy, our communities, all that other kind of stuff. We're not that bent out of shape over the Epstein files. Those are the only people who care about it, are the ones who they just want clicks and views. And last but not least, they needed those people who are bloodthirsty like that. They want to advocate for violence, but they themselves will never partake in it.
Exactly, 100% correct. You know, you do it, but not me. I don't want to be involved.
Yep, just like the left, you got some people on the right doing it as well. They want to advocate for violence, but they'll never be on the front lines.
That's right.
All right, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a blessed day.
Same to you. Great call. Shout out to the caller, and shout out to you guys, of course, rocking and rolling. If you like what you have heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, that might be a wrap for me. I might wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Shout out to you guys for calling. Shout out to you guys for watching. I'll be back live on Instagram on Tuesday. I'll be back live on YouTube on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here every day, 7 days a week, putting out pre-recorded content, long form, short form, whatever you want. I got it right here on the YouTubes and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and everywhere else. Okay. And I figured out TikTok now. I'm cool with TikTok. They're not trying to get me banned or anything. They're good. So if you are a TikToker, you're a doom scroller or whatever you are, you'll see me over there as well. So get ready. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You guys are the best. I think I got all the super chats here. I did get everybody. But shout out to you guys. If you, I gotta do my plug. This is an audio streaming podcast as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Okay. And somebody said something about a sea oil ban. I don't see them banning sea oils completely. That's going to be kind of a lofty goal to reach because there's so many foods that have sea oil in it, and sea oil is so ubiquitous in society. It's kind of like trying to ban sugar, in my humble opinion. But I wouldn't be against it, but I'm not quite sure how that would actually go in real life. You know, you talking about Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, all these places that have built their whole thing around sea oil. They would adjust, of course, but I'm not really sure how that would go. And then my question would be, what would be the appropriate alternative? Or is it just sea oils that are being targeted? Avocado oil, okay, that's going to work. It's not a sea oil. Olive oil, avocado oil, beef tallow. What would be banned specifically? I mean, I like the premise, I like the concept, but I don't see how this concept manifests in reality. This is just my point of view. But I'm all for it though. I'm a really big health guy. I don't cook with no sea oils. I have avocado oil. That's what I use. Avocado oil from Costco. You know, I'm a Costco king. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna change. Hey, when I have kids, when I'm 85 years old, I'm gonna name my firstborn son Kirkland. Matter of fact, Kurt Logan, KL. Hey, ABL, why'd you name your son Kirk? Costco, Kirkland. Yeah. His name would be Kirkland, but Kirk for short, like Kirk Cousins. Shout out to the NFL. Oh, I can just say it's Kirk Cousins because I like, he was on the Vikings and he was good, kind of halfway. But anyway, I would like to see people become healthier in the country, but I'm not sure what could be done as far as banning things or limiting things or subsidizing certain things over others. And also something about the seed oil. I don't know if you consider high fructose corn syrup, the sugar, like, okay, are we going to ban sugar as well? Because that's also a thing. Are we going to ban granulated sugar? Are we going to ban high fructose corn syrup? What are we going to ban when it comes to that? Because that is a menace. But again, it is become ubiquitous in society. How do you get rid of it? How do you deal with it? I don't know. All right, but I don't got that much time, Hines. You can't be telling me, hey, talk about this, talk about that. I don't got that much time. If you got a request for a video topic, please email me, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. Send me your request. Send me your tip for a video. And if it makes sense, I'll go ahead and do it. All right. But that's pretty much a wrap for me. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting. You know I could not do this show without you. Thank you to the moms for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that's pretty much a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.